a blinder today. He's, as I said before, a very proud individual. He'll want to come out and show that he's deserved of a shot back with the power. So I think he'll play well. I think Glenelg will do it easily.
Yeah, I'm tipping Glenelg too. I'm very interested to see how Chad Corns goes, because you see the big name players coming back through the SANFL or coming back to the SANFL. We've seen a few over the years, like Peter Burgoyne and Graham Johncock there at Port Adelaide, and mentioned some others there like Bernie Vince and Brett Burton at the Eagles. Sometimes they really do contribute. Other times they can really quite struggle. I guess it's all a matter of adapting to a different style of game in a lot of ways, Doug Oak, because while the AFL, the fast-paced athletic game, the SANFL, a bit more like, I guess, the older football that we all grew up with.
Yeah, you're right, and the ball's not going to end up lace out on the chest quite as often in the SANFL. Another player too is Danny Meyer. Now,
yes,
let's be honest, at AFL level, his career is probably at the crossroads. It's interesting to note that Danny Meyer was the 11,407th player to play in the AFL or VFL. Did you know that?
I did not know that at all.
No. If you're comparing at quiz night, Andrew, I know you've got...
Can you repeat that number for us, Dave? I'm sure I'll put that one down.
The 11,407th.
407. Okay, I've got you.
Yeah, don't forget the 11,000.
To play AFL football.
To play AFL stroke VFL. Yes. So
where'd you find that stat, and why?
Well, I was just, you know how you do. You get on the net, and they've got all these stuff there, and they tell you every player, of course.
They certainly do.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Though, I mean, who does all the counting?
No, I have no idea.
I'd be very interested to know. Very interested to know. No, look at that. That is interesting. As you were saying, his career probably at the crossroads AFL, but he can be a real contributor at this level, can't he?
Terrific player. He's a very complete player. I remember seeing him when he came back here from Melbourne. Richmond. From Richmond.
Yes. Coming
from the city of Melbourne, but from Richmond, coming back to play with Glenelg. And he was just, I thought, almost a class above other players out there. His clean ball handling, his kicking, it was just... but he hasn't really cracked it in the big time. I mean, he's only played, I think it was 4 games at the Power, 17 at Richmond, and he's been in the AFL system now for, about 6 years. So this is a big game for him, both in terms of Glenelg doing well, but also from a personal point of view. I hope he does well, because he can play.
Well, they're looking at it's a new era for Port Adelaide Power, so you never know. If he plays some good football, he might find himself back up there again.
Almost in readiness, guys, and I can tell you that Chad Corns is starting on the ball. I'm looking directly at him. Di Pasquale will be his man. We're underway in the first term here at Albert on 107.9 Live FM. Thanks to station sponsor, your local lender, Home Loans Plus. The bounce of the football. Meiklejohn goes up against Cranston. It rolls off the back of Meiklejohn, and the aforementioned Di Pasquale dives on the loose footy, and there'll be a ball up right in the dusty middle here at Alberton Oval. As a nice Ty Allen in there with that ever-impressive beard for Glenelg. And Stanley appears to have the job on him as the bounce down. Trying to pick it up there was Corns, almost ridden into the ground there. Port Adelaide have a chance to come on through Wanganeen. Little handball out, couldn't quite find the target. It's shuffled forward by Port Adelaide, but in the end it comes towards Tenace for the Bays, who knocks it towards Ben Kane. He was tackled. Another handball only as far as Port Summerton, and he kicks up towards half forward, where the debutant for the Maggies, Tim Malera, takes the mark. He chips out wide, a nice little kick, and the mark is taken there by Dolling, who runs to 50, kicks long, kicks strong, and kicks out goal for the Magpies. Fantastic start for Port Adelaide. They're first to Mark Dolling. 1 straight 6 Port, but they'll get the score. 60 seconds gone. Andrew Crowell.
Yeah, one guy has got outstanding skills as young Dolling. I mentioned went through the teams with a couple of guys I know in the SANFL, and they said, watch this guy, he's got outstanding skills, and he certainly showed that there. That was a long kick for goal. Had the wind behind him, but that went sailing straight through the middle, and that's just the start that Port Adelaide need.
Umpire now with the ball to get play underway now after that goal. Port Magpies 1 goal straight, and Glenelg get to score. There's the ball up. It's Meiklejohn. Got the effective tap out. Went back to Meiklejohn. Couldn't get it. Stanley's got the ball. Goes with a hand pass now. Out here in the direction of Dolling. What's he going to do? He's got the ball. Managed to get the hand pass away. Not all that effective, although it does land somewhere near Thurgood. But coming through, we find it is going to be the Glenelg player. It looked like Tenace. Got it down towards centre half forward. The spoil affected there by Loken in opposition to Grimer. Big pack of players fall on top of the ball, and there will be a ball up. It's about 50 metres out from goal. Glenelg in attack at the moment, but the Magpies kicking with the breeze. Port Magpies leading 1 goal straight. Leading Glenelg yet to score. We've played 2 minutes in the opening quarter.
Ball at forward 50 for Glenelg. They can't quite get it out of there. Of course, as Andrew Crown mentioned earlier, Port kicking with the breeze. They're kicking to the southern end of Alberton Oval. They have that goal to Dolling in the first 60 seconds of the game. A loose ball again, centre-half forward. Players piling in. And again, we'll ball it up right on the arc of forward 50 for the Glenelg side. The player off the bottom of that pack there was Port Adelaide's Clinches. Glenelg's Cranston comes through from the side. Big fist down, only as far as Somerton though. He works well with Dolling. And now it's Slattery back towards Dolling at half-back. He runs out of room and takes the ball over the boundary line. One of the more modern of the two grandstands here at Alberton Oval. Port Adelaide 1 straight 6. Glenelg are yet to score. We've gone 3 minutes in this first term.
There's the throw-in, Cranston and Meiklejohn. Meiklejohn caught the high one and will take the free kick. Goes with the long hand pass, gets it across here now to Somerton, brings it down towards the wing, right down in front of us, and off the hands of Thurgood. An effective score from behind by Sam Rudolph, and a throw-in to take place. True centre wing position, maybe just to the attacking side slightly for Glenelg. And again, it will be Cranston and Meiklejohn, two-man mountains. Up they go, two fine ruckmen too. Hand pass from Pasquale, got it across there to his teammate in Mark Dolling, who's been very effective so far. But the Glenelg defence very strong down there. The kick comes out in the direction of Ben Kane. Kane will pick the ball up, the former Hawk. He went with a poor hand pass that time. His skills are usually very, very good. Another hand pass comes back there to the youngster in Bradley. Bradley drops the ball in short. Glenelg out of defence, almost out of defence, but the mark has been taken here by Big Wade Mills, the former Brisbane Lion. Ball's on the outer side of the ground. Another Glenelg mark. A long way from here, though, John.
It is indeed. Got the glasses up. It's Ben Kane with the footy. He goes towards the outer side wing. Kirkby was spoiled. He had time to go in, grab the footy, get a wayward handball out. He was looking for Allen, but it was high, wide and handsome. And out of bounds on that outer side wing. It's Port Adelaide 1 straight 6. Glenelg get to score. 4 minutes gone first term here. No score at Elizabeth, but I can tell you, interesting for Norwood and Central fans, Tim Weatherald, a late withdrawal with the flu for the legs. As Cranston wins down in the ruck here at Albion to Tenace. Tenace gets the kick towards half forward, bustles through a couple of Bay players, comes up towards Clinch. He gives to Somerton, and that was young Carey working around the wing beautifully with the mark taken by Dolling. They're away and running now, Port Adelaide. They go towards half forward, bouncing football inside 50. Leading the race there was the lanky Lycett. It beats him out of bounds, though, 25 metres out from Port's goal at the southern end. And there'll be a boundary throw in that position. Looks like
Collingwood leading St Kilda 4-4 to 1-4, and Hawthorn giving Brisbane a bit of a caning at the moment, John.
Interesting in the AFL, some of those scores as the Bays work it out of defence through a handball. It was Rudolph who got it from Panozzo. Now Allen, the bearded one, charges off defence. 50 kicks towards half-back. Murphy, though, had 2 to beat. Was never going to be a winner in that contest. And the mark was taken by Meiklejohn. He pops a high ball towards centre-half forward. Stanley had to sit and wait. He took a great mark. Handball's over the top to Young. Can he gather it in? He can't. He taps it over to the man in open space. That's Thurgood. He can set sail from 45. His kick's just away to the right, though, through for one behind. Port Adelaide doing all the scoring at the moment. They are 1-1-7. Glenelg get to score. We've gone 5.5 minutes in this first term, Andrew Crowell.
It's been an impressive start by Port Magpies. They've moved the ball really quickly, what you've liked. They've trusted their skills. They've given the first handball when it's been there, and they're looking like they're improving on their previous form.
There's the kick in. Kane Tenace, the former Geelong player, probably watched his former teammates in action last night, and they wouldn't have been all that happy at the end of it. But there's his kick, and it's gone out of bounds. There will be a throw-in, outer side of the ground. Still the Magpies in attack, and Port Adelaide kicking with the assistance of what looks to be at least a 3 or 4 goal breeze. Looking for that, what's happened to the flag? Is it blown off, Andrew? I can't see it.
No, it's still just...
Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
Yes, it's still fluttering in the breeze. So there we go. It's Glenelg, though, going forward this time. Let's get the glasses on, but a Port Adelaide mark comes out now towards the wing position, and Port Adelaide with control now. This is young Watson, drops the ball down here in the direction of Young. He couldn't take the mark. The ball is on the ground. Is it going to be taken away, or will there be a ball up? Umpire says play on still. Now he comes in and says it will be a free kick, and it will go the way of Port Magpies. There's the hand pass, comes out to young Malira, making his debut. He looks like he's got lovely skills. Gets the ball in there. There's a kick for goal here by Port Magpies. And I tell you what, this is going to be close. No. Play on calls the umpire. And it will be a behind. Knocked through, rushed through. And so it takes Port Magpies along to 1-8. Leading Glenelg yet to score. We've played 7 minutes into the opening quarter for our major sponsor, Home Loans Plus.
North 1-3, Sturt 1 behind, and South 1 behind. The Eagles yet to score. There's some of the early scores in the other SANFL games. Bought defensively for the Bays, dropping a mark he probably should have taken, but he was under pressure there, was the Glenelg player in Kirk. But he's managed to move it along, though, and they go off half-back now, Glenelg, towards that outer side wing. In flying high was Big Seller, claiming the mark, or claiming a push at least, and there'll be a throw-in on that outer side wing. It's Port Adelaide 1-8, Glenelg get to score. Approaching the 8-minute mark of this first term. As in the ruck, Meiklejohn will do battle with Cranston, two of the rucking gladiators of the SANFL. It was one down by Cranston. He got it to Ben Kane, who handballed to Allen, who just chips the footy up and chipped it up well. Found a teammate there for the Bays. The kick, though, chopped off at half forward. It was Tenace, whose kick was chopped off by Watson. They shovel it forward, Port Adelaide. Watson involved again, got a handball out in the direction of Big Meiklejohn, who gave to Dolling. He handballs over the top to the run of Thurgood. He's at half forward for Port, he's tackled, but he gets it out to Cloak. 55 from goal, he handballs to Dolling. He won't have a shot this time, he goes searching inside 50 for Lyset. Big man on hands and knees, couldn't take it. Glenelg player in Kirk over the top of the ball, 30 from goal. Umpire watching proceedings closely, says, I'll have it. He'll ball it up underneath the time clock, which shows 8 minutes have elapsed in this first term. Port Adelaide 1-8, Glenelg yet to score.
Long way from the top of his head to the ground, is it? Young Scott Lyset, only 17 years of age and almost guaranteed to be drafted, you would think. There's the ball up, and Glenelg will bring the ball out. Cranston's got it there, goes with a hand pass, gets it across here to Matty Bode, swings down now towards half back, and it's been knocked across the line and out of bounds. So it's about, 70 metres around from the Port Adelaide goal. They lead at the moment on the scoreboard, 1-8. Glenelg yet to score. And we've played something like 9 minutes into the opening quarter. Glenelg still trying to come through. Bode it was who got the kick down towards half forward, and the mark's been taken there by Todd Grimer. Todd Grimer now puts the ball to the ground. Then we'll go with a hand pass across to Allen. Allen back to Grimer. Grimer now will kick the ball short. Looks down here for a teammate. His skills weren't brilliant, but Glenelg still have got control of the ball. Chad Corns, probably his first touch, I think. Glenelg with a long shot for goal there, and it's gone through for a minor score. And it's their first score, in fact, of the day. One behind, 1 point the Bays, but trailing Port Magpies 1-8. John Nankerville.
As Shannon marks the kick in the right back pocket for Port Adelaide, one of the 5 inclusions today for the Magpies. His kick's a good one. It's been marked here at half back by Wanganeen, who kicks further down the wing, putting up a teammate in Watson. Port Adelaide doing it in short passes at the moment as Thurgood grabs this one on the bounce, tight on the boundary. He's pushed over and there'll be a boundary throw-in. Eagles 1-1, South 1 behind, North 2-4, Sturt 1 behind. There's some of the scores from the other games. Andrew, here, Glenelg being made to work very hard for every touch.
They certainly are. Port Adelaide are playing some good football at the moment, moving the ball quickly. They're putting pressure on the Glenelg ball carriers, and they're finding it tough, Glenelg.
As Shannon grabs the footy for Port Adelaide, tackled by a couple of Bay players and taken to go. Just out of interest too, for those of you with a budget, Chad Corns was named as number 22, but he is wearing number 12. So just for those of you wondering who that is in number 12, I'm sure you're not too confused, but just a bit of a correction there. And speaking of the man in question, he wins it down towards his former Port Power teammate, Matt Bode. Of course, they played juniors together at Glenelg back in the mid-90s. Bode couldn't keep it in, it's out of bounds again. Between grandstand side centre wing and right half forward for Port, it's the Magpies 1-8. Glenelg 1 behind as Cranston won it down in the ruck. Straight to his teammate Bode, whose kick up forward is going to be awarded to the Bays. Tenace in the contest there with Clinch was interfered with. Tenace wastes no time, goes to Kane, who at centre half forward chips to the arc of 50 where Meyer is running hard. Slattery right with him there. Meyer taps it down to Willoughby, 45 from goal, he can go short. Kane past him, Tenace runs in, 3 Magpies to beat, he does well. Got a handball out, goes back with the handball now towards Big Seller, 25 from goal. What can the big man do? He can snap and kick. A goal for the Bays. Lachlan did his best impersonation of a soccer goalkeeper there on the line, unable to stop the shot on goal from Seller. The Bays are on the board. They are 1-7. Port Adelaide 1-8.
to be paid here to Glenelg and Daniel Meyer. Danny Meyer, of course, the power-listed player to have this kick. He's too far out to Howard. There's a little bit of a push and a shove, and there will be a free kick paid here to Port Adelaide, it would seem.
Looked like a holding decision there. I saw the umpire play it.
Or is it a free kick to Glenelg?
It's a 50-metre penalty to the base. And this isn't the problem. We saw this last week, Andrew Crow. Port Adelaide gave away 4 25-metre penalties. They resulted in goals. They've just given away a 50, and this will result in a goal to Danny Meyer for the Bays, and they'll lose the lead with it as well.
Yeah, that was an undisciplined play. There was definitely a free kick given there. I saw the other umpire give away that. He's put the goal through, by the way. I saw the umpire give the free kick. It's Loken again. I reckon Loken was one of the main offenders last week as well. Looks like Chad Corns has taken on the role as enforcer for Glenelg as well. Is he going over and just letting him know about it?
Chad's never done that before, has he?
No. I think he may have done it a couple of times. But there was definitely a holding free kick. Then we saw one of the Port Adelaide players just drop one of the Glenelg players, and there he goes.
So the Bays take the lead with that Meyer goal there, 2-1-13. Port Adelaide 1-2-8.
The action back now in the centre of the ground. We've got the big blokes to do battle once again. This time it's James Seller going up and young Scott Lysett. Lysett grabs the ball, then gets a hand pass away, although it's still wrapped up there. Grabbed by Port Adelaide player there in Stanley. He couldn't get away, and the umpire says it is going to be mine. Reasonably close to the centre of the ground. It's in the attacking zone more so, though, for Glenelg. There's the ball up once again. No one able to really break their way clear. Umpire says it's going to be mine once again. So Seller and Lysett. There's the ball up. Seller using his experience and his greater bulk. Got the tap out there. Managed to bump Lysett out of the way. And there will be another ball up, believe it or not. The umpire is earning his pay. Andrew Crow.
Yeah, just noticed Chad Corns moved down to full forward now, so he's being stood by Luke Carey in the traditional full forward position.
North Adelaide 2-4, Sturt 1-1, tied at Elizabeth, 2 points each, 10 minutes in.
As Glenelg going forward once again, and a very good mark's been taken by Rory Kirkby, one of those players who was mentioned in that very, very good article in the Advertiser as a player who may be looked at by AFL clubs. He goes with the pass, gets it across to Danny Meyer. Beautiful centering kick. Big pack of players. Corns from behind couldn't take the mark, and the Port Magpies will now come out of defence. There will be a free kick. Umpire paid it, then he paid the advantage there as the Port Magpies got away through young Jay Shannon. A chain of hand passes over there, the Port Power Club rooms, and another short kick came in there. It was McInerney, the boy from West Myalla, took the mark, went with the hand pass to Luke Slattery, and back there to McInerney into the centre of the ground. It goes through the hands of players. It's on the ground. Ball will be picked up by Panozzo. He's tackled strongly there by the Port Adelaide player in Jared Young, and the umpire says it's going to be a ball up. It's in the attacking half of the Port Adelaide team. They would desperately love to score. They trail on the scoreboard now, 1-2-8. Glenelg 2-1-12, and we've played 16 minutes of the opening quarter.
Ball at half back for the Bays as Ben Kane comes through strongly. Handballs to Panozzo. Goes over the top to Ruwald, who can run down this grandstand side wing and chip towards left half forward, which he does very nicely. Kirkby takes the mark. Beard's in there to shut him down, though, for Port Adelaide. Kirkby plays on, goes inside 50, leading his opponent to the ball, though, and taking a good mark was Carey for the Magpies. His opponent on that occasion was Chad Corns as Carey kicks out wide to the other back pocket. He went from right to left. Shannon opposed to Grimer. Beaten in that contest as Grimer knocked it on. Handball back towards Grimer now in that right forward pocket. Take a little knock on to Willoughby. He gives to Allen, 35 from the Bays goal. He's got Grimer tight on the boundary. Has to go backwards to sort of go forwards and find Mules. 55 out from goal. He can straighten up if he wants. No, he goes to handball. And the kick inside 50 now is a good one from Tenace, and it's marked there by Kirkby. He's about 35 out straight in front, and Kirkby can go back from that position, Andrew Crown, line up for the Bays' third goal.
Yeah, there's a beautiful kick. There was a lot of bodies in that Glenelg forward line there, and he managed to pick out Kirkby. It was a nice little kick. Didn't go very far, but hit him on the chest, and he'll have a shot from roughly 25, 30 metres out.
Yep, he will indeed. Rory Kirkby lining up for his first. Goes at it with the left boot. Looks pretty good. Got a lob on the line. Did it clear the pack? It did. Wait on the umpire. Bit of check. Just getting the all clear. It's a goal. Rory Kirkby gets his first. The Bays get their fourth. They go to 4 goals, 1. 3 goals, 1-19, should I say. Port Adelaide at 1-2-8. And after an early flurry from the Maggies, Andrew Glenelg settling nicely.
Yeah, this has happened to Port a few times. They've got out of the blocks early. had the ball in possession a lot, had the ball in their forward line a lot, but haven't been able to score. And Glenelg have then turned the ball over, and they've dominated the last few minutes of play there.
Ball to go back into play once again. Back in the centre of the ground, the two big blokes to do battle. We've got Cranston getting up, gets the tap out, but it's taken away by Port Magpies. Getting in there was Summerton. He couldn't get his foot to the ball. It's on the ground. A hand pass from Cranston, who was down on hands and knees. Hand pass came out there to Chris Kane. Got it across there to Ben Kane. Go over to Panozzo. Panozzo will kick down towards half forward. Oh, spectacular leap and a good mark taken there by the Glenelg boy. It looks like young Kirkby once again. Drops the ball in short and finds Bradley. Bradley near the centre of the ground, goes with a hand pass across there to Chris Kane. Kicks the ball down towards half forward. Up they go. Knocked away there by Watson. Will be taken away by the Port Magpie defenders. At least I think it will be. Yes, it will. There's the young lad with the ball right now. Number 49 in Samuel Gray. Port Magpies bring the ball out of defence. Not with any great system, you'd have to say, as it bounces on the ground. Attempted kick off the ground. Or it was kicked off the ground. In fact, there will be a free kick paid here, I think. A free kick to be paid here to Glenelg, and it looks like Bradley is going to get that free kick on the outer side of the ground, on the half-back line. And so young Bradley, one of the teenagers in the Glenelg team, will drop the ball in short. Finds a teammate too, and Glenelg have got control of this ball as they charge through the centre of the ground. In towards centre half forward they go. Driver couldn't take the mark, taken by Loken. A hand pass came out there, and the Port Magpie defence has got the ball now under control. And it looks like it might be the boy in... Is that Watson who had that one?
Yep.
Yeah, Watson now will kick the ball further field, and it's going to be clinched down towards half forward. Here's Malera. That's a magnificent shot. I thought it was going to curl round with the breeze. It didn't do so. Hey, this boy's quite electrifying, young Tim Malera. He's had 4 or 5 touches so far, but that's a minor score. Let's check the scoreboard before a quick comment from Andrew Crowell. Port Magpies 1-3-9, but trailing Glenelg 3-1-19.
I was just going to say, this little Malera has got a bit of excitement about him. He's only a little fella, but geez, he moves well. He's quick. A couple of chases were really impressive, and he's going, as is Rory Kirkby. He's had a little purple patch for the Bays in the last few minutes.
Nord 1-4-10, Central 2 behind Elizabeth. At Albert, it's the Bays running off half back. Allen was good, and they come towards half forward. Now Meyer was up high, pushed in the back by Shannon according to the umpire. It will come back to Meyer. A long way out. We're talking 75, 80 metres out from goal. Right half forward, outer side of the ground. He goes inside 50. Big fly, Seller off hands. Port Adelaide's Dolling clears the danger zone. Out of bounds into the white picket fence there. About 60 metres round from Glenelg's goal. Right half forward of that northern end. It's the Bays, 3-1-19. Port Adelaide 1-3-9. We've played 20 minutes in this first term. So we're into time on as Meiklejohn leads Cranston in the rucking Jill. Ball goes over the head of both, and the umpire's whistle is gone. Free kick to Port, advantage paid. Gray came away with it. Kick towards half forward. Malera marks at 50, runs inside to about 40, and kicks another behind for Port Adelaide.
He's quick, isn't he? He had a Glenelg player right on his tail there, and he took off and managed to get a shot on goal, but just missed it, unfortunately.
Love the way he takes them on, Andrew. It's just exciting stuff. This is Byron Murphy, who's been a good player with Glenelg this year. Took that mark now, kicks the ball short, and Tenace has got it. Deep in the defensive zone here for the Bays. Just taking his time now. Pretty good crowd here this afternoon too, between these traditional rivals, Port Adelaide and Glenelg. There's the kick from Tenace now, and a good mark's taken here by the big player, the big former Taswegian in Daniel Kirk. Of course, wearing the headband, as you can imagine. Gets the hand pass across there to Luke Panozzo. Panozzo goes down towards the centre of the ground. Up go the big pack of players. Comes off hand. Matty Bode has it. Went with the hand pass out there in the direction of a teammate. Comes off hands once again, and there will be a free kick paid here to Port Magpies on the outer side of the ground. We'll just pick up that player in just a moment.
Clinch.
Is it Clinch? Been a pretty good defender this year, young Clinch, as he drops the ball in short and finds his captain in Meiklejohn.
Meiklejohn has it at left half back for the Magpies. North Adelaide 3-4. Sturt 3 behinds. The Eagles and South level at 1 goal, 1 apiece as Meiklejohn's kicked towards the wing here. Outer side wing at Albert off hands. Glenelg come up with it. Allen was very good. He found Bradley, who's running at right half forward. He goes inside 50, just over the head of Seller, bouncing football. Carey leads Kirkby in the race, and the young Port Adelaide defender goes looking for Dolling over his head. Coming through tight on the boundary line was Clinch. He handballed back towards Slattery. 70 from goal. Couldn't pick up the loose ball. Big Meiklejohn, could he say, this is how you do it, but his kicks left a lot to be desired. It's marked by a sliding Ruwar at half forward for Glenelg. He goes inside 50, 2-on-1, Grimer, on another occasion outnumbered, and Port Adelaide through Carr can come away with the football. He goes to Beard, he's at the fence at 50, he has a bounce, he's away and running. He links up nicely there with Malira, right half back. He chips down the wing, and the mark's taken there by Big Cloak. Grandstand side wing here at Albert. It's Glenelg 3-1-19, Port Adelaide 1-4-10. Cameron Cloak, the power listed player, kicks long to go inside 50. Flying there, Lycett couldn't take it. Thought about a handball, goes on his own now, kicks towards the goals. It was coming back, not enough. Through for a behind, the fifth to Port Adelaide of this term. They're 1-5-11. They're wasting the breeze. Glenelg 3-1-19, 23 and a half gone, first term.
Ball is on the outer side of the ground in the Glenelg defensive zone now as they bring the ball out with a chain of hand passes. Let's see what develops out of this one. Into the centre of the ground. The mark's taken by Cranston. Dummied the hand pass. Then did go for the hand pass eventually. And Glenelg eventually will kick the ball down towards half forward. Up goes Seller. Couldn't take the mark. Todd Grimer claiming the mark. I think it came off hands though. Will be taken here by the player in Meyer. His kick goes across the face of goal and bounces out. So promising build-up there by the Bays. They still lead, though, by some 8 points. 3-1-19. Port Magpies 1-5-11. 24 minutes have gone in the opening quarter. The game on Life FM for major sponsor, Home Loans Plus. And the throw in deep in the attacking zone there for Port Magpies. It was Seller who got a left-handed fist to the ball, but it's gone across the line and out of bounds. Comments this afternoon from former Crow, Andrew Crow.
I was just going to give you an update on the Hawthorn-Brisbane game. Looks like 16 minutes into the second quarter, Hawthorn 46 to Brisbane 24.
Ball inside the 40 for the Bays. Seller won it down. Ricocheted off a Port player's knee. Diving in there, working hard. Meyer couldn't come up with it. Port player there, Wanganeen, also worked hard. Came out on the way of Ben Kane. He gave to Seller. Now Ruwak, tight in the pocket. Thought about kicking for goal. Goes backwards to Kellogg. Puts him in an awkward position. He snaps back towards the goals. And in the end, it's bouncing through for a behind. Poes picked it up and kicked the goal, but it had bounced through for a behind. That excited the Glenelg fans, upset the Port fans. 3-2-20 the Bays. Port Adelaide 1-5-11. 25 gone first term.
Ball now to be brought back in by the Port Adelaide defenders. Little short kick in there. Ooh, dangerous stuff. It seemed to be about, it was Summerton, and he copped a nasty one too from behind. Nothing untoward. And it was Ty Allen who went in and got the ball forward. And a mark has been taken here by Glenelg. It looks like, is that Danny Meyer once again? Lining up for goal. And he would be only, let's see, 30 metres out, 35 out.
Willoughby,
Josh Willoughby. Should know him because he's done special comments with Life FM. Former Sydney rookie, Josh Willoughby from the mid-north of our state originally, and he comes. There's the shot for goal, kicking into the breeze. I tell you what, it's not a bad sort of a kick. Josh Willoughby, well done. And Glenelg really in control of this game now. 4 goals to 26. Leading Port Magpies, 1 goal, 5-11. 26 minutes have gone in the opening quarter. And Andrew Crow, it's going to be hard to see Port Magpies getting out of this.
Yeah, it certainly is. There's a strong breeze. You saw the way that ball held up in the breeze there. It looks like it's blowing with a fair bit of gusto. Steve Summerton coming off the ground there. Looks like he's got a corked buttock. And I caught one of those in my time. One of my butt cheeks was about twice the size of the other one, and they hurt, and I wouldn't imagine if he's got one of those, he would be sitting on the bench probably the rest of the game.
Well, standing on the bench.
Standing on the bench, exactly.
Yeah. He backed into a pack, a lot of courage, you know, but yeah, and so that's how it all happened.
You get those scores from around the ground in a minute as the Bays go forward again. They kick inside 50 where Seller takes the mark, 45 at 45-degree angle. The big man in front of the Alan Scott Power headquarters. Pointing at his teammates to get them to move in a certain direction, and they not overly sure what to do now. He's going to go back and have a shot, Big Seller. Not showing any great amount of confidence though. He kicks for goal now with the right boot. It's a nice kick, swirling back, but in the end it's through for one behind for the Bays. And there is the quarter-time siren. So I can tell you at quarter-time, it was the Glenelg side kicking against the breeze in that quarter, who finished 4-3-27 over Port Adelaide, wasting the breeze for mine, 1-5-11. The goal scorers.
Supporters at this week's after-match presentation held upstairs here at the Port Club around about 5:30. The match reports regional towards the player interview.
Home Runs Plus on 107.9 Live FM, Adelaide's home of football.
Welcome back here to Albert Oval, quarter time of our match of the round on Live FM. It's the Bays 4-3-27, Port Adelaide 1-5-11. We'll quickly cross down now to Woodville Oval, the non-broadcast game. Don Cooper is there and he'll give us a quick update between what's been going on in the first term between Eagles and the Panthers.
Yes, yeah, a very depth first quarter here. A battle of the defences really, with both sides nullifying each other's attack, getting plenty of numbers behind the ball. We see those players make their way back to start the second quarter. The Eagles 2-2-14 to the Panthers 1-1-7. Singles to Adam Gross and Jared Polak to the Eagles, and Andrew Horn, the sole goal kicker for the Panthers. And the Eagles will be kicking to the south with the aid of a bit of a breeze in this second quarter.
No worries at all. Thanks very much for your work there, Don, and we'll catch up at half-time and keep those scores coming through.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Enjoy the second quarter there, boys.
Thank you, Don Cooper, down at Unley Oval, and Doug recognised some mates in the stand there. David Elliott, of course, doing a wonderful job as the umpire observer. Usually at Noarlunga, he's away from his usual stamping ground.
Well,
today.
he played his junior footy at South Adelaide, of course, and then he umpired over 200 matches at senior level. I don't know whether, Andrew, whether he umpired you or not.
I never used to take a notice of the umpires, mate. I was after the pigskin, mate.
Yeah, they didn't take much notice of you. No, how many McGarry votes?
I don't think I got a McGarry vote or a Brownlow vote in my entire career. That's why I didn't take any notice of the umpires.
Just repeating those quarter-time scores at the other venues. North 3-4, Sturt 3 behinds, and the Legs 1-5, leading Central 1-2.
It's called a team player, Doug. It's not about me.
It is, yes, and if you're fourth best every week, that's okay.
That's exactly right.
Underway in the second term, and it was Chad Corns giving to Tenace, and the Bays go forward to half forward. The kick with the breeze this quarter. Kirkby flew high over Grimer, couldn't take it. Bobbles up towards Tenace. He handballs off in the Bradley direction. His kick inside 50 was a good one. Mark being claimed by Settler, not paid though. Spilled to Slattery in the back pocket. He chips it up towards Carey, who takes the mark and then handballs back to Slattery, and the Maggies can go towards their defence 50, where McInerney, back in the side today, takes the mark for the Maggies. He's unsure what to do with the footy. He goes with a left foot kick outside the wing position. How's this for a duel? The little midfielder there, Young, for Port Adelaide against Big Cranston for the Bays. Not the best one-on-one. In the end, Young does well to see it out of bounds, and there'll be a boundary throw-in on that outer side wing. Glenelg 4-3-27, Port Adelaide 1-5-11. We've gone 60 seconds in the second term.
It's Cranston and Micklejohn now going for this ball. It's Micklejohn who got the tap out, but it was taken away there by Allen, the bearded Allen, of course. Will be taken now, though, by Port Adelaide as he lost possession. In towards centre half forward. The ball's knocked away. It's on the ground. Let's see what can come out of this one. Taken by Stanley. He's been relatively impressive today. Taken by Young, who's been in fairly good form in recent weeks. His kick is not all that good, but it did land in the hands of young Malira. Playing his first game today for Port Magpies. We've already given him a good rap. I reckon he's had the ball 6 or 7 times, and he's got some silky skills too. Only a teenager and looks very, very promising. The ball now about 45 metres out from the Port Magpie goal, out in front of the Alan Scott Port Power headquarters. The ball very close to the ground. Was that Chad Corns there trying to pick it up? He hasn't had a lot to convince that he's ready for AFL on the basis of today. There was the kick for goal by Port Magpies, and it's gone through for a minor score. Benny Mules now to bring the ball back in to play for the Glenelg defenders. I'll check the scoreboard, then John Nankivell. Glenelg 4-3-27, leading Port Adelaide 1-6-12.
Long kick by Mules, hoping for Rudolph at half-back left out of sight. He had 3 to beat. In the end, the Port numbers show through as Di Pasquale comes up with the footy, kicks back to 50. Dolling sits and waits. Coming through, Mules spoils it down in the Panozzo direction, who in turn handballs to Allen, who's away and running for Glenelg. Has a bounce at left half-back and then chips to Chad Corns on the wing. Good mark, and in the one mover gets a handball over there in the direction of his teammate in Tenace, who got it back towards Corns, who goes inside 50 through the arms of Seller. At the back waiting was Clinch for Port Adelaide, claimed he was taken high. Another Port Adelaide player bustled to ground by Kirkby, and the umpire comes in 30 metres out from the Bays goal and says we'll ball this one up. 2.5 minutes gone in the second term. It's the Bays by 15 points. The Seller, 1 down in the ruck. Young was unable to pick up in defence for Port Adelaide. Ball spilled out the back to Grimer. He snaps from 25 metres out. Across the face, through for a behind. Bays first score with that breeze. They go to 4-4-28. Port Adelaide a 1-6-12. 3 minutes gone, second term.
And Luke Slattery playing last year with Torrens Valley, of course, in the Hills competition. as he brings the ball back into play. Comes out now to Stanley. Stanley takes the mark right in front of the bowling green here. It's actually the bowling ground these days.
Yes.
And Stanley now to go back. As I said, I reckon he's been fairly impressive, Stanley. Not so much. Yeah, that kick was okay. That was going to drop too short, but the mark's been taken here by Sam Gray. Gray now will drive the ball down towards the wing, and another mark taken by Port Adelaide and Young. The lad from Werribee, but the ball actually went over the line and out of bounds on the full, so it's going to be thrown back to big Daniel Kirk. Kirk with the headband, the red hair, quite colourful. In he comes, kicks the ball long, gets right onto that one too, in towards centre half forward. Up goes Kirkby in the front position. The umpire has awarded the mark. And Kirkby certainly one of the form forwards in the competition these days. 55 metres out. This is not beyond him either because he's got the breeze behind him, but he decides to go short. It wasn't the wisest thing, and McInerney it is who chips in and takes the mark there across half-back for Port Magpies. Plays on immediately, looking in the direction there of his captain in Micklejohn. He in turn took the mark, went with the hand pass across to De Pasquale. His hand pass in turn was not such an effective one. The ball's on the ground, will be taken away now by McInerney once again. Went with a hand pass, but it's all Glenelg this time. Through half forward they go. There's the short kick into the direction of the player there in Grimer. He gets it across to Matty Bode, goes with the right foot, snapshot for goal, and is off target with that one. And Matty Bode, who would have trained out here in his early days, he was Port Power and Adelaide.
Correct.
I was trying to think. Brad Symes is one who's done both, but are there any other players, Andrew?
Was it Davenport?
Davenport.
Downsborough, Davenport?
Ian Downsborough.
Ian Downsborough.
There we go.
From
He was
West-
on the right track, at
That's
the right alphabetical.
Well, yeah, the boy from West Coast who came across, that's right, and then he played with both. You're right, so there's probably only three that we know of. Let's check the scoreboard before John Nankivell winds up once again. Glenelg 4-5-29, Port Magpies 1-6-12, 5 minutes into the second.
Ball half forward for the Bays after a turnover from the kick from Carey. It's with Ben Kane, who got it from Bradley. The Dogs have hit the front at Elizabeth. They lead by less than a kick, 2-3 to 1-5. Havelberg the scorers. Chad Collins leaps high in front of the pack. Couldn't quite complete the mark. Off hands to Bode. He handballs back to Chad Collins, who gives it to Grimer. Under pressure from Stanley. Couldn't take it. He gives to Carey, does Stanley, and the Maggies can move now as Carey finds Gray to Wanganeen. Had a bounce. Left half back, tight on the boundary line near the players' race. He kicks down the members' wing. Mark was taken by Cloak. He handballed on towards Wanganeen. Too low for him. Ball spills free to Kane. That's Ben Kane tackled. Ball spills free again. Umpire keeps the whistle in check. Picked up by Young there for Port Adelaide. He gives to Dolling. Back to Young. He handballs to centre half forward. McInerney has made space for the Maggies. He runs to 50. Gets on the left foot. Measures the kick.
Is that man?
Top of the goal square. Malera takes the mark. And Malera kicks the goal. Well, he kicked a couple of points in the first term, and he's kicked his first goal in league football now, and a very important one into the breeze. 6.5 gone, second term. Maggies get their second there, 2-6-18. Glenelg 4-5-29.
Just found a bit of space there, Malera. He's a likely type. Dolling was beautiful there. Had some really good skills. Was surrounded by Glenelg players, but found a little avenue through and got a nice little cheap handball out. And Port needed that one to stay in the contest.
So another around the ground scores. North 3-5, Sturt 2-6, 23 to 18 at Unley. The Eagles 4-2-26, running away from South there 1-1-7. Early stages at Woodville of the second term.
Collingwood 7-7, that might be their quota against St Kilda. The Saints 3-5, they're in the second quarter. But Collingwood certainly troubling St Kilda today. The big game at the MCG. We'll get an update on the game between Brisbane and Hawthorn. Hawthorn were leading comfortably, last score we had. This time it's Port Magpies playing with some renewed confidence in the last couple of minutes. Young Clinch gets the ball in towards centre half. Well, that's a good, strong, contested mark taken here by Cloak in opposition to Kirk. He kicks the ball in direction of Stanley, and Stanley's taken this mark now about 30 metres out from goal. Not on a great angle. I think Stanley's a left footer from memory, so it's going to favour his boot. Just watch, you'll probably make a liar of me. But a much needed shot for goal here by Port Magpies. They trail at the moment by some 11 points. We've played 8 minutes into the second quarter, and Stanley just waiting for him to come in and have this shot for goal. Now he's a right footer. There's the kick for goal. Beautiful shot, considering the breeze, the way it's swirling things around, and a much-needed goal to the Magpies. They move along now to 3 goals, 6-24. Trading Glenelg 4-5-29, only 5 points in it now. 8 minutes gone in the second quarter. Great comeback, Andrew Crowell.
Certainly has been. It looks like Tony Bamford's told his players to play on at all costs. They seem to be moving the ball, getting that first handball. It hasn't come off a couple of times, but it looks like it's working overall. They're getting the ball quickly into their forward line, and unusually, as we see on a lot of occasions, the team that's going into the breeze tend to be kicking the goals.
Yeah, that was the way it was in the first term, and it seems to be the way in the second. Port Adelaide 2 goals, Glenelg 2 points in this second quarter so far. We've played 8.5 minutes. The Bays lead 29-24. Here's a chance though. Coming through was Murphy, was good with the hands. Kellock linking in there with Ben Kane, and now the running Willoughby hits 50, kicks long with that breeze right to the goal line, but getting back there and taking a good mark was Carey for Port Adelaide. I've liked his game today. Kicks to Watson inside the defence, 50 underneath the scoreboard for the Maggies. Kicks towards half-back, Rudolph there for the Bays, did well, knocked it down, but a handball backwards, and now the Bays can go into the middle of the ground. The kick there was from Tenace. It found Ben Kane. He kicks towards 50, bouncing football. Murphy, can he pick it up? He can't. Pressure applied by Di Pasquale. Wanganeen there. Happy to see it out of bounds. 55 out. Right forward pocket for the Bays in front of the bowling green.
Half-time score of the Hawthorn-Brisbane game. It is Hawthorn 9 goals, 660, leading Brisbane 4 goals straight, 24.
There's the throw-in. It's big James Seller gets the left-handed tap to the ball. A snapshot in the direction of the goal there by Bode. There's a good mark taken down there deep in the goal square. And the player who's got that mark is... I'm just waiting for him to go back. It looks like it's going to be a mark here to Todd Grimer. It was Grimer, and comes in and makes no mistake with that one. That's his first goal for the afternoon. So Glenelg just steadying things down after a couple of quick goals there to the Magpies. Glenelg 5-5-35. Leading Port Adelaide 3-6-24. 10 minutes have gone in the second quarter down here at Alberton. The broadcast on Life FM for major sponsor Home Loans Plus. Our special comments from former Crow, and also the ground announcer down at AB Stadium, Andrew Crowell.
Yeah, that Glenelg forward line looks dangerous with Kirkby, Grimer, Corns is occasionally floating down there, and they're going to be dangerous if they can keep getting that ball in there quickly.
It's as potent as any forward line in the or attacking lineup in the competition, I would think, Andrew.
It certainly is.
As Meiklejohn does some rucking and roving, kicks towards half forward for Port Adelaide, barreled through Dolling, taken by Gray, handball to young Tim Malera, who from centre half forward goes inside 50. Good contest between Kirk and Cloak. Ball came out the back. Kirk dived on the footy. Cloak wants holding the ball. Umpire Harvey says won't be. We'll ball it up. 25 out from the Port Adelaide goal. A couple of goals to them in the second term. Glenelg getting a steadier there through Grimer. An 8-point margin the Bays lead by as we check the scoreboard. It's Glenelg 5-5-35, Port 3-6-24. 11 points actually the margin, pardon me. As we bounce down again, 25 metres out from Port Adelaide's goal. Fisted down into the path there of the running Wanganeen. He couldn't quite take the footy. Bode does well to soccer it away in towards Willoughby. He's at the fence of 50, throws the ball on the boot, but he was out of bounds when he did that. And there'll be a boundary throw. And back there at the forward 50 arc for Port Adelaide. They trail by 11 points, getting toward the mid-stage of this second term. We've gone nearly 12 minutes as the boundary umpire prepares to bring the footy back into play. Northern end, the end Port Adelaide are kicking to. Kicking against the breeze. Kirk went high in the ruck, got a push. And he will take the free kick deep in defence now. Big Kirk with the headband. Decides to go with the handball. Often the big players like to do that. He handballs off to Willoughby, who chips short to Seller, who marks just inside the boundary line here. Right half back, northern end for the Bays.
James Seller, no doubt, will kick the ball long and deep. Going with the breeze. Gets onto it too. Good 55-metre kick down towards the... well, almost the half-forward line. Will be taken here by Rudolph. Got the hand pass away there. Another hand pass comes out here now to Benny Kane and runs about 70 metres out from goal. Went with a long hand pass there to his teammate down there in Chris Kane. Chris Kane now will centre the ball, and this is good football by Glenelg. Just setting things up. Kellock now feeds off the hand pass. Big James Seller caught with the ball, just shrugs off his Port Adelaide opponent and then kicks the ball right up into the teeth of goal and through for a goal. A goal to Seller. That is the first player in this game this afternoon who's kicked more than one goal. And Glenelg now move along to 6 goals, 5, 41. leading Port Magpies 3-6-24. 13 minutes have gone in the second quarter. Andrew.
I just showed the strength of that breeze there, because the big fella Seller he didn't really put a lot of back into that. It was just a little chip up. It was a little 9-wood there, put it up into the breeze, and it just took it through right through the middle. Great bit of play, because we saw him back here on the half-back line, kicked that ball long and high. He just lumbled down towards the forward line and found himself 50 metres out and putting another one through the goal. Two for Seller.
How do you rate his game and his overall progress, Andrew?
I really like him. I think if we lose one or two players at the Crows, he's pretty much first to come back in, I'd say.
Ball at half forward for Port Adelaide. Rudolph working hard. Can't quite pick the footy up in the end. Dolling in there as well for Port Adelaide. And there'll be a ball up. Just some scores around the ground. North 4-5-29, leading Sturt 2-7-19 by 10 points. The Eagles 4-3-27. South 2-2-14. Dogs 3-3-21. The Legs 2-5-17 as Turlich scores a goal for them. 17-minute mark of the second term. Back here at Alberton, it's the Bays off half-back through Murphy. Grimer almost marking it half-forward. Got it back in the handball from Chad Corns. He links now with Ruwald. He's about 40 from goal. Off a step after shrugging a tackle. The kick, though, is ordinary. Out of bounds on the full. No, stuck in for a behind. He must have just snuck through for a behind. So the Bays go to 6-6-42. Port Adelaide 3-6-24. We've gone 14 and a half minutes in this second term. It's an 18-point margin as Wanganeen with the footy at defensive 50 for the Magpies. Just a little unsure where to go at the moment. Not a lot on offer for him. He's going to go with the short option. It's not a great kick, though. Barrels through Dolling at ankle height. Murphy picked it up for the Bays. Handball to Corns. Now it's Kellogg who sits it up there, 25 from goal. Chris Kane flies high. At the back of the pack, load was there, but Chris Kane gave away the free kick. And it'll come back here to Stanley, deep inside the Port defensive 50.
So Stanley now with the ball, as you said, John, deep in the defensive 50. There's the kick. It didn't quite come off the boot as he would have liked. Kirkby stood there, almost took the mark, almost lost his head in the process, I think. Wasn't hurt in the process, but he did get himself a free kick, and the left-footed Kirkby now drives the ball in towards the full forward position, but it's going to be taken away by the Port Magpie defenders. It was initially Slattery, came out there to Stanley, and a kick comes out now towards the wing. It's to Glenelg, 1 Port Magpies, and the young Port Magpie player in grey is beaten for that one there. A hand pass from Mills, got it across there to Ty Allen. Ty Allen will drop the ball in short, and the mark's been taken by Bradley across half-back for Glenelg. He in turn transfers play, and Glenelg have got control of it now on the outer side of the ground there through Panozzo. Panozzo in turn finds his teammate in this boy in Willoughby, racing through the centre of the ground. He's been most impressive at times today. There's his kick, comes down now in the direction of Kirkby, couldn't take it. A snapshot for goal there by Grimer, looked rather comical in a strange sort of a way. The breeze didn't carry it, and it's knocked through for a minor score eventually. And it takes Glenelg along now to 6 goals, 7-43, leading Port Magpies 3-6-24. 16 minutes have gone in the second quarter down here at Alberton. The broadcast on Night FM for our major sponsor, Home Loans Plus. A little bit of a delay in play. Andrew Crowell. Yeah, big contest there. It was Kirkby that went up against the Port Adelaide player, and the Port Adelaide player's in some pain down there. I'm not sure who it is at the moment, but he's on all fours, and he looks to be struggling at the moment. The trainers are standing around him. I just wanted to make a point about James Seller as well. We touched on him before. He was one player that spent a bit of time with the Crows, and I thought, yeah, I think he's had his chance. Might be time to move on. All of a sudden, he had another go at it, and boy, has he come along. And I rate him in there probably best 22. I think when he's up and about, he's a really good player. He's going to be a player of the future. Struggled with a few injuries at this stage, but he's certainly going to be a player of the future at the Crows, John. Young Clinch was the player. He took, as you said, Andrew, a heavy knock in that contest. He's got a bloody nose. He's coming from the ground looking quite shaky, but he is up on his feet, so that's good to see. We'll keep an eye on him as the Magpies come towards half forward. It's McInerney, got it from Gray. He goes inside 50, bouncing ball, taken nicely by someone, and he dribbles, and kicks a wonderful goal for Port Adelaide. Something out of nothing there from Steve Sutherland. The Maggies go to 4-6-30. Glenelg 6-7-43. You're on 107.9 Life FM, Adelaide's home of football.
Tenace pulls down a very nice mark.
Kane Tenace, the former Geelong player, drops the ball in short. He in turn finds a teammate. It might have been Chris Kane, I think. Ball now comes out towards the half-back line. They're switching play. Byron Murphy drops the ball in short. And the man not in question, but the man in the limelight, James Seller, takes yet another mark. His lovely kick of the football. Until that one. It was a shocker. It's still effective, though. Glenelg still had possession deep down in their defensive zone. And let's see, where is the ball now? Here it is coming out towards our side. I sort of had the glasses on and lost the ball. And eventually it's knocked across the line and out of bounds for a throw-in. Andrew.
I did mention before Steamy stomach, and he's obviously got a tougher backside than me because he's back out there again. He is limping a little bit at the moment. I saw him stretching before, so he's obviously got a corked something, but I'm not sure what it is.
And he kicked that magnificent goal, didn't he? That was a superb
did.
goal. You know, the way he just measured it and it dribbled along the ground quite deliberately. It's going to be Stanley. He's been an impressive player today for Port Magpies. I don't reckon I've seen too much of young Stanley play. What is he, 22 years of age? It's his 9th match, so haven't seen a lot of him, but he has been most impressive today. Wins the hard ball, got a bit of skill too. As the ball is on the ground, coming through there, we find a couple of players there trying to burst their way clear, but the umpire, I think, is going to come in and say, this is mine. So the ball is about 50 metres out from the Port Magpies attacking goals at least, as it's going to be taken once again by Stanley. Stanley gets the ball across there to his teammate in Jay Shannon, and the mark has been taken here by Port Magpies within kicking distance, and the boy who's got the mark is young Malira. He just seems to know where the ball is going to be, and that was a lovely pass that came in from Shannon. So Malira lining up for his second goal in his first game with Port Magpies, and what a promising debut. 18 years of age. In he comes. He's kicking from 35, but into the breeze. There's the kick. It's a well-weighted kick. It's a beautiful kick, and he's put that one straight through. Lovely skills. Port Magpies moving on to 5 goals, 6-36. Glenelg still holding a reasonably comfortable lead, 6-7-43. The margin, well, admittedly, is only 7 points, but each time Glenelg looked to be totally in control, Port Magpies have come back. My goodness me, they're giving hope for their supporters. Andrew.
They certainly are. This has been Port's story all year. They just don't give up. They get 3 or 4 goals behind. You think they're out of it. All of a sudden, they kick a couple and they're back in the game again. And young Malira, isn't he impressive?
Isn't he? I mean, he's surely got to be in contention already for the the junior award that we have in the SANFL.
Yes, definitely. Yep.
Wonderful debut so far. One of the best I think I've seen from a first game player.
Yeah, it just seems to find space, which is so important in today's game.
Eagles 4-4-28, South 3-2-20, North 5-5-35. Sturt catching up 4-8-32. They are some of the scores from around the grounds here at Alberton. It's the Maggies going forward, and McInerney, who's been involved in a bit in this second term, coming out on the lead. There he is. He couldn't take it. And kicks a goal for Port Adelaide, his third. And Tim Malira is the star of the show. As the Maggies get their 6th, they go to 6-6-42. And would you believe they trail the Bays, Andrew Kraut, the 22nd minute mark of this second term, by just 1 point, 6-7-43.
Yeah, he's been impressive, Malira. He's looked good. He's been all over it. He crumbed off the pack there. He's found space and taken a couple of grabs. What has he got, 3 now?
3 all in this quarter, 3 goals,
3
2.
this quarter. Geez, I'm going to go out and buy myself a Port Magpies Guernsey with the number 43 on the back, I think.
I bet you don't.
No, I bet you I don't either.
And the other boy I reckon has done well is McInerney. Hasn't he been impressive this quarter?
He has been good. What concerns me a little bit with McInerney is just his disposal. He doesn't seem to have a powerful leg, and a lot of his kicks seem to be big loopy kicks into the forward line. Apart from that, he gets his hands on the balls, and he's only a little fella.
I think he's been watching Sam Gilbert kick at St Kilda. You know this?
I think he might be.
He's pretty similar in that regard, just thumps it in. And a free kick to be paid into Port Magpies. Now, this is promising for the Magpies. They've got the ball across half forward. A hand pass there from Lyson. Got it across to Somerton. And from 55 metres out, there's his kick. Is it going to land in the hands of a teammate? It won't. It's going to go across the line and out of bounds, but still deep in the attacking zone for Port Magpies. We've got to point the difference here. Who would have thought this 23 minutes into the second quarter?
And pretty close at Elizabeth too, as Norwood back in front there, 4-5-29. The Dogs 4-3-27. Simon Phillips scoring the goal for the Legs.
There's the throw in now. Up they go. Young Lycett was in there, but a hand pass came out from Glenelg defenders. Will they get the ball away? It's going to be taken there by Benny Mules. He's taken to the ground. There will be another ball up to And I must admit here today, I don't know about you guys, but I've hardly noticed the umpires.
That's a good thing. Remember, I never noticed it when I played as well. So
Exactly, Andrew. Exactly.
no, they've been good today.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been a free-flowing game so much, but they've just done their job and done it well. As Di Pasquale there, he'll be penalised for that, I think, because he tried to burst through. He did the right thing. But he was tackled and lost the ball, didn't correctly dispose of it, and so a free kick to be taken deep in defence here by Mark Ruwalt, the boy from, I think he came up from South Gandia, who played my hometown, Portland, today, I think, in the Western Border League. John Nankivell.
Ruwalt went short to Seller, who gave him the 1-2 with the handball back to Ruwalt, who kicks towards half forward, off hands, out of bounds, right half forward for the Bays. They lead by a point. It's Glenelg 6-7-43, Port 6-6-42. 24 minutes have gone in this second term. Quite close contest all around the SANFL this afternoon as Seller takes it out of the ruck. Did he get into Meikle-John's back? He did. Free kick, Port Adelaide. Beard wants to take the advantage. It won't happen. It will come back to big Meikle-John here at half back. The Port Adelaide skipper playing game 101. He plays on now, kicks to centre half back. A couple of players to choose from. It's Beard who takes the mark. Schulz on the right boot, kicks towards the wing, and a good grab taken out there for Port Adelaide by Watson. He's away and running, can load up and kick to 50. The stumbling block though for the Bays is Seller, who takes the mark at the fence of 50 and goes short towards Murphy here on this grandstand side centre wing. He wanted to go, but Gray came in and shut him down well for Port Adelaide. So Murphy.
That's an example of Gray power.
It was indeed.
Yes.
As Murphy goes short to the wing and Bode takes the mark. Glenelg under the pressure here, under the pump. It's Port Adelaide playing hard, tough football at the moment. The kick from Bode, past two players in Grimer and Rudolph. Rudolph gets there first as they run back towards it, taps it towards Grimer. He couldn't take it. McInerney could for the Maggies. He gives to Shannon, who chips up towards Dolling, right half back. Kicks down that outside wing. The mark taken by the man of the moment, Tim Malera. He's kicked 3 goals all on the second term. His kick is good. It's marked 55 from goal by Wanganeen for Port Adelaide. Between the right half forward flank and the right forward pocket, got Di Pasquale in short. He'll go to that player, goes backwards a little bit. And Di Pasquale loads up from about 70 metres, puts it inside 50, but Meyer gets in the way and takes the mark for Glenelg. No, holding free kick off the ball. Will go to Seller. He handballs to Meyer, who chips to Bode, and Glenelg can come out of defence.
So Matty Bode with the ball, drops the ball in short there. It wasn't such an effective kick. Port Magpies have got possession here through Young, but he's all wrapped up. No opportunity to get rid of it, and the umpire will bounce it once again. So the ball is right on the 50-metre line. Port Magpies in attack. 26.5 minutes gone in the quarter. Just to point the margin, we've got Glenelg in front, 6-7. Port Magpies 6-6. An absolute thriller down here at Alberton. It's been a terrific comeback by the Magpies because they've been going into the breeze in this quarter and they've kicked 5 goals into the breeze. It's been an extraordinary quarter by this young Port Magpies team. Admittedly, they're still trailing, but only by 1 behind as a player is told to get off the ground because of the blood rule, and it's a Port Magpie player, judging by the way he's coming off here. So we'll just see what happens. The beard of Ty Allen, it's not often you see a beard in both teams. Ty Allen has one for Glenelg, and of course Beard plays for the Magpies. Kane Tenace coming on, and we find it is going to be big Cameron Cloak. I was wondering where he was, Cameron Cloak, because when Di Pasquale kicked that ball in long a while ago, there was no big centre half forward to take the grab. He was on the bench, that's why. There's the ball up now. As Port Magpies, I tell you what, there'll be a free kick for a push in the back. Not much doubt about that, but a young Tim Malera, once again, this boy is exciting the crowd here today. First game for Port Magpies. He's kicked 3 goals too. There's his kick. It wasn't such a good one. He kicked to a pack of Glenelg players and only 1 Port Magpie player, but it's still taken by Port Magpies. A kick off the ground, and there's a snapshot for goal. This is extraordinary. Let's check the scoreboard. Port Magpies, 7 goals, 6-48. Glenelg, 6-7, 43. 28 minutes have gone in the quarter. Port Magpies are just playing with incredible confidence. Andrew Crowell.
Yeah, they certainly are. They're up and about at the moment. As we said, they're kicking into probably a 3-goal breeze at the moment as well. Tim Malera has been outstanding. Where's he been? What is he? He's 171 centimetres, about 72 kilos. He's about the size of something I had for lunch today. He's not real big at all, but geez, he can play the game. And Cameron Cloak came on the ground only a second ago, and was heavily involved there. So Port Adelaide playing some really good football.
Half-time at Elizabeth, the Dogs back in front through Sainsbury, 5-3 to 4-5. We'll speak to Phil Aspinall at half-time. And well, it's half-time here at Albert now as the siren sounds. And Port Adelaide kicking 6 goals in that second quarter, 6 goals to 2 against the Breeze. They lead by 5 points at the major break. The Maggies 7-6-48, Glenelg 6-7-43. A fantastic performance.
That's blown right out. I wonder how Rewalt's going for
you
St.
wonder,
Kilda
yeah.
as well.
Haven't heard any reports. As I mentioned, my brother's watching it, but sending through a few scores. But yeah, I think he's just trying to rub it in for me, actually, as a St Kilda man.
Well, that's an interesting one. Collingwood, they've promised so much over the last few years. Preliminary finalist in recent times, but now top of the table, a couple of months out. Can they finish top 2? If they could, you could almost see them playing in the grand final.
You could, yeah. I mean, they're an impressive outfit. What else interests me is what if, you know, Collingwood win the flag this year, have another good year next year, and then Mick Malthouse hands over the reins to Nathan Buckley.
Will he want to go?
Will he want to go?
I mean, let's be honest, they were a pretty good team last year, and any good team that can recruit Darren Jolly and Luke Ball.
A couple of huge ins.
Yeah, terrific recruits, and they've both played. I think Jolly's just starting to really hit his straps. Luke Ball's been a good, consistent player all year for them.
Yep, I agree. I think Jolly started off the season quietly, had a great pre-season. Probably wasn't playing in his best for the first half of the season, but gee whiz, the last few games he's stepped right up, and he's an important cog in that Collingwood machine.
Yeah, I mean, at his best, he's in the top 3 or 4 ruckmen in the competition, isn't he?
Definitely.
Well, we mentioned Port Adelaide here at Albert, down to just 2 men on the interchange bench, with Thurgood not going to take any further part in this game. And we mentioned Campbell's ankle injury at the Elizabeth Oval. We just got a message there from Phil Aspinall saying that he has gone back down the race, much like Thurgood did after they came back on at half-time. So Norwood down to just 20 men in that game against Central. We'll keep an eye on that match, that's for sure, throughout the rest of the afternoon. Phil Aspinall down at Elizabeth, Don Cooper at Woodville. Here at Alberton, we're underway in the third term. The Magpies by 5 points. They kick with the Breeze to the southern end. Cranston went up high. He missed it. He goes in, gets a handball out towards his skipper, Mules. Tackled by Young, dispossessed. Gray got the centre clearance for Port Adelaide, but the umpire is not happy with what he saw after the tackle on Mules, and he will take the free kick in the middle of Alberton Oval for the Bays.
Hello. Chad Corns has given away a free kick at centre-half back.
And it's going to come to Port Adelaide at centre-half forward. So, interesting. Interesting start. Free kicks left, right and centre. The Maggies have the ball through Di Pasquale. He's at centre-half forward. He goes inside 50. Port Adelaide player dragged down behind the play. That was Cloak. Umpire's whistle is gone, and it will be Cloak who will get the free kick. It's against Kirk. 25 out straight in front is where Cloak will kick from. So we've seen Glenelg get a free kick. That's been turned over. With Corns giving away the free kick to Di Pasquale at half forward. Port Adelaide going forward, and now Cloak being infringed. The third free kick inside 60 seconds in this third term, and a very important kick from Cameron Cloak. He kicked the last goal of the second term to put Port in front. Now he can line up for goals. We said 25 out straight in front, kick the first of the third term, and put them out to an 11-point lead. What can he do? He goes at the goals and kicks the goal for the Maggies. They go out to an 11-point lead. It is Port Adelaide, 8 goals, 6-54. Glenelg, 6-7-43. 90 seconds gone third term. Great start to this quarter, Andrew Crowell.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure what happened at half-time down in the bunkers, whether they got the wrestling videos out and had a look at them, but really interesting start to that third quarter there. A couple of cheap free kicks given away, and then with a goal to Port Adelaide. So both coaches will be disappointed there. And
some of the Port Adelaide Magpies supporters are throwing the streamers on the ground, or is that a toilet roll? But anyway, either way, it's a colourful scene down here at Alberton. This time it's Glenelg, though, who break their way clear. Kane's an ace. Wonderful football as he charged out of the centre of the ground. His kick, though, was caught up in the breeze, and Matthew Locken, the former Collingwood defender, former Port Magpie, of course, takes a relieving mark. Feeds off the hand pass. The kick comes out towards the half-back line, and we find it looks like Slattery out there. Went with a hand pass. Let's put the glasses on. It's a long way from here. On the outer side of the ground, there's the kick now from the player was that Dolling. Goes down towards half forward. The ball comes off the free kick here to Port Magpies.
Guess who?
Free kick, it is little Malira, number 43. And I've got a feeling we'll be hearing a whole lot more about him. Only 18 years of age in his debut. He's kicked 3 goals, 2 this afternoon. Goes in short and finds Young. Young now, boy recruited from Werribee, starting to play some good football for the Magpies. That's a poor kick, though, and coming in and taking a good relieving mark is one of the most consistent players this year in the SANFL, Byron Murphy. The ball knocked out of his hands as he was going back, and so a 25-metre penalty. I like the 25 as opposed to the 50 for something like that. It might slow the game down a little bit, but there's still a bit of a penalty. Brings the ball out of defence. Now it's going to be Ben Kane getting yet another possession. In towards centre half forward he goes. And another free kick to be paid here to Glenelg as Todd Grimer put the hands up. Was pushed from behind, went with the hand pass there, gets it across to a teammate, young Bradley, who's had a lot of touches. He in turn goes in short, and a mark or a free kick. It's going to go the way of Glenelg.
Meyer.
And Danny Meyer it is who will go back, and he will come in and kick for goal from around about 50 metres out, but he is kicking into a breeze, so this won't be easy. Let's see what happens this time.
He chipped short, actually. Duggan found Ben Kane.
Found Ben Kane. Ben Kane will now go short once again. They're doing what Port Magpies did very effectively in that second corner. Ruwald is all tied up. Umpire says play on. I like that sort of decision. It gives the ball player a chance to at least get rid of it. Comes in now and says it's going to be mine. There will be a ball up across half forward on the 50-metre line with Glenelg in attack. Let's check the scoreboard. It's Port Magpies 8-6-54 and Glenelg 6-7-43, 4 minutes into the third quarter.
Umpire Manicus bounces it down. Shannon comes away with the football for Port Adelaide off the ruck it out. Got it to Dolling, who kicks into open space on that outer side wing. Panozzo picks up for the Bays. Handball's back towards Allen. He's tackled high according to the umpire. So Allen will take the free kick right half forward. Panozzo's there for the handball. He ignores that player and goes to Ben Kane. Ben Kane again at centre half forward, where we found him a few moments earlier. Goes inside 50. From the side of the pack, Rory Kirkby has pulled down a screamer for the Bays. He's about 40 out, 45-degree angle, but that's what he can do. The way he flies.
And we'll see if he kicks the goal.
Important kick for Kirkby, important kick for the Bays. It's away to the left. And, well, it was a fantastic mark, but it was a very ordinary kick. Out of bounds on the full. And the margin stays at that 11 points as Slattery brings the ball into play, runs himself into trouble, got a handball out, looking for Locken, missed him.
That's a bad kick.
He grabbed it, kicks towards the goals, and has missed one behind. So Glenelg on the scoreboard, they go to 6-8-44, Port 8-6-54, and Port Adelaide come out of defence again. They again cough it up. The Bays have the numbers, and it's going to be Bode who marks at half forward.
And Bode now with the ball here for the Glenelg team. Matthew Bode kicks down in the direction of Danny Meyer. He went high, couldn't take the mark. It's on the ground. Slattery was on the ground too. He couldn't get hold of it. Ty Allen, the bearded one, got the hand pass away, and Glenelg now. Oh, great mark from behind. Used his Port Magpie opponent as a stepladder, but that was a very, very good mark that time by a Grimer. Todd Grimer, brother Alex played in the reserves, and Todd, the big key forward here for the Glenelg lineup, will have this shot for goal. He'll be about 25-30 metres out. Comes in, kicks for goal, right over the nostrils of the goal umpire for his second goal for the afternoon. That's Grimer's, not the goal umpires. And Port Magpies still hold, though, a narrow lead. 8 goals, 6-54, and Glenelg 7 goals, 8-50, 4 points the margin. 7 minutes have gone in the third quarter down here at Alberton Oval. Our special comments this afternoon from former Crow, Andrew Crowell.
Yeah, Glenelg just displaying a bit of their aerial power there in the last couple of minutes. A couple of nice big hangers taken, and Kirkby couldn't kick the goal, but Grimer it was then, managed to go back and whacked it straight through the middle.
Early in the third quarter at Woodville, the Eagles 5-6-36, South 4-5-29. As the umpires put out a free kick, a ruck infringement going the way of the Bays. That's going to be taken by Cranston. He handballs off to Tenace, who's played very well today. He kicks looking for Allen at half forward, knocked away from him by Shannon. towards the boundary line at half-back for the Maggie. Shannon does well. A former South Australian under-18 representative, and sees the ball out of bounds. Right half forward for Glenelg. Left half back for Port Adelaide. It's the Bays 7-8-50. Port 8-6-54. 7.5 gone, third term. It was up in the ruck. It was Cranston getting a hand on the football. The ball hits the deck. Ferocious tackling. Meiklejohn, the Port Adelaide player, wrapped up by a couple of Glenelg players. And they'll ball it up around about 50 metres out from the Bays goal. Kicking into the breeze. Northern end, which has funnily enough been the scoring end in this game. Cranston was up high. In doing so, infringed in the ruck, and it will go the way of big Meiklejohn for the Maggies. They lead by 4 points, Port. Meiklejohn kicks long kick towards that outer side wing, off hands. Kirk at the bottom of the pack, going to shovel it out for the Bays. It's socketed forward in the end for Port Adelaide, and marked about 60 from goal by Young. He can kick backwards to Slattery, who runs to 50 and kicks long with the breeze. Kicks long and accurately with the breeze, and scores a goal for Port Adelaide. Well, a couple of big strong kicks there. We saw from half-back to half-forward, it was Meiklejohn, and then the shot on goal by Slattery from 50 puts that Port Adelaide lead back out to 10 points, 9-6-60. Glenelg 7-8-50. 9 gone, third term.
And Luke Slattery returns to his position way down here on the defensive line. So he was a long way from home, wasn't he?
That's why he celebrated it so hard there. Hey, just an interesting scoreline here. Hawthorn Brisbane, third quarter, 32nd minute mark. Hawthorn 16-12, 108 lead Brisbane 6 goals straight. That's a thumping.
Three-quarter time it was Collingwood by 38 over St Kilda, the big game at the MCG. As the action back in the centre of the ground here at Albert, and we have got an absolute thriller. Coming out of the centre of the ground there was that Panozzo. Down towards half-forward he goes there for the Glenelg team. Big pack of players once again go for the ball, and the umpire will have no alternative but to come in and ball it up once again. Let's check the scoreboard again. 10 points the margin. Port Magpies in front. 10 minutes have gone in the third quarter. Port 9-6-60, leading Glenelg 7-8-50, and the ball up once again. On the half-forward line here for Glenelg, Ruwald has it now. It's a funny sort of a kick, but it lands fortuitously in the hands of his teammate in Kane Tenace, the former Geelong player. And Tenace has certainly been high in Glenelg's better players today. He may even be their best. And he'll have a shot for goal from about 45 metres, but he is kicking into a fairly strong breeze, and in fact a very strong breeze down here at Alberton this afternoon. The breeze going toward the city, and he's kicking toward the port. In he comes, Kane Tenace. Usually a pretty good kick. That looks pretty good off the boot. No, it's gone across the face of goal. Is it a mark? I think it is a mark here to Glenelg. Deep in the pocket, and the player down there is Chad Corns, who's taken the mark. What do we say about 9 touches in the first half for Chad Corns? He'll run around on the mark here, no doubt, and see if he can just curl this one in. And he comes. He's done just that. There's the shot for goal, and he's put it right across the face of goal, and he's put it out of bounds on the full, it would seem. And as a Port player, they're just having a few quiet words to Chad Corns. You'd have to say it's not been his best game today.
No, certainly not. He's that's a man down on confidence for sure.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. As we find it's going to be in the hands now of Port Magpies. They're going to bring this ball out of defence, out of sight of the ground. It's a long way from here. We've got the glasses on this player. It looks like it might be Somerton, who copped a bruise early in the game, but he's back on the ground. Big Lysett in there doing battle with Panozzo. Fortunately for Lysett and Port Magpies, the ball goes across the line and out of bounds. I'm not doubting the young lad's potential, but when it gets close to the ground, the ball, well, when you're over 200 centimetres tall, it's a tall order. John Nankerville.
Eagles 7-6, South 5-5, and Central by 2 points into the third quarter. 10 minutes in at Elizabeth as Dolling off half-back for Port Adelaide finds touch on that side. When we were looking at the stats there a bit earlier in the St Kilda game, Andrew Crowder, amazing stats for Montagna.
38 possessions he'd had up into the last quarter, and that's for a team that's down, 11 goal 8 to Collingwood, 74, 4 goal 11, 35.
He's probably tagging Dane Swan.
He probably is. Well, I'll get your Dane Swan stats here as well.
Meanwhile, the ball out of side again, out of wing, out of bounds, should I say?
I think you'll find he is. Dane Swan, 18 kicks, 11 handballs, 7 marks, 1 goal.
Pretty handy, isn't he?
Not a bad player and not a bad game.
Back into play there from the boundary restart here at Albert. It's Seller who won it down. Players piling on the football. Move it a little bit forward towards the left half forward area for Port Adelaide. Still on that outer side wing though. Meiklejohn thumps it down. About 80 from Port's goal. Diving on the footy was Young. Panozzo there with his arms in the air appealing for a free kick. Nothing doing.
John, just,
check.
sorry to butt in, John. Just while we're on the stats, for all those interested in how Nick Riewold's going, he's had 4 kicks and 2 handballs.
Struggling Riewoldt in his comeback as Willoughby off half back for the Bays can clear the zone. Well, diving mark though taken there by the Port Adelaide player in Carey. That's not giving the Bays any room at the moment. 7-8-50 Glenelg, Port 9-6-60, 13 gone third term. Carey's kick over the head of Young at half forward. Port players running back for the ball. Beard there, Ruwok trying to knock it away. It came to Malera, off a snap. Malera snaps, and Malera kicks behind. I thought he might have got his 4th goal. He's kicked 3 goals, 3 today, Tim Malera. 11 points is the lead to Port. They go to 9-7-61. Glenelg 7-8-50. We've gone 13 minutes third term.
We've certainly seen the birth of a young star here today, and young Tim Malera. 3 goals, 3 so far. That may be nothing to write home about, but in the context of the game, it's been terrific. And just the way in which he's done it, he's been superb. Gee, I could almost do your job, Andrew. Special comments.
I'll have the rest of the day off, guys. See ya.
As Big James Seller it is who's taken the mark this time. He's played a useful game too. Big Seller now. Outer side of the ground, across the half-back line, kicks down towards the... taken here by Wanganeen, went with the hand pass across to Beard. Comes back there to, it looked like McInerney, who in turn hand passes the ball to Casey Carr. Carr, a long kick. The Breeze has got this one, and he's put it through for... That has to be one of the best behind you there. I thought it was going through for a goal. But it's a minor score to Port Magpies. Let's check the scoreboard again. It's 9 goals, 8-62 to the Magpies, 7-8-50 to Glenelg. 12 points the margin. 14 minutes have gone here in the third quarter down at the Alberton Oval.
Bradley brought it back into play for the Bays, looking for Murphy. But not only could he not take the mark, but he couldn't touch the ball either. Out of bounds on the full underneath the scoreboard. It shows Port in front by 12 points. Dolling from 50 uses the Breeze, hits to the top of the goal square. Off hands, the back of the pack. Was that touched? Yes, it was. Just through for a rush behind. Another one to Port Adelaide. They go to 9-9-63. Glenelg 7-8-50. 15 gone third term. And Port, with that Breeze, starting to pepper the goals as Rudolph bring the ball back into play for the Bays. This time Murphy marks, defence to 50. All in the one movement. He handballs off to Tanace, who gets it back in the 1-2 from Willoughby, and then kicks to Kirkby on the outer side wing, who's up and taking a mark. He plays on now, gets a handball out to Murphy. He can handball to Willoughby, who runs through right half forward, has a bounce, hits 50, hits 40, and kicks. A goal for the Bays, an important goal for the Bays to Josh Willoughby, his second. It's a 7-point ball game, 15 and a half gone third term. You're on 107.9 Life FM, Adelaide's home of football.
Port Magpies kicking with the Breeze, but it really doesn't seem to say much in the context of the game, because kicking into the Breeze in the second quarter, Port Magpies kicked 6 goals. Glenelg kicked only 2 goals with it. So it's just been a fascinating game. It's been a real arm wrestle and a terrific game of Australian rules footy. A good crowd, enthusiastic crowd, and fairly well represented, I think, too. One of the great things about SANFL, you get supporters of both clubs. It's not all one-sided barracking. So great atmosphere here this afternoon. And don't those steak sandwiches smell nice too? It's a bit chilly, but oh, beautiful. But the ground is bathed in sunshine. But at the moment, the players are in the middle of a great big pack out there in the middle. Umpire says it's going to be mine once again for another ball up to get play underway. So the big fellas to do battle Looks like young, is that young Lysett out there? And James Seller. There's the ball up, coming over the top there. We find a tap out to Glenelg. They have possession now. Let's see what Luke Panozzo can do. Went with the hand pass. It wasn't all that effective. Puts his player under a lot of pressure. Ty Allen got the hand pass away. Will be a free kick that will go the way of Port Magpies. Incorrect disposal, and to Pasquale. Back in the Port team after having injuries, of course, early. Gets the hand pass away, and we find it's Port Magpies now with control of the ball. Down towards half forward. Glenelg, though, will mop up here on that last line of defence. Just trying to pick up a couple of the players down here. Ruwalt, very close to the boundary line. In fact, he let it run across the line and out of bounds. Very close to the behind post, or probably 20 metres around anyway. And a throw-in to take place once again. Kirk and Cloak to do battle down there. The two Mad Mountains.
And then Seller actually over the top from winning the ruck. Hit out a hurried kick towards the boundary for the Bays. Player tackled strongly to ground there on that occasion. Helped back to his feet was Ruwalt. And the ball come back into play right forward pocket for Port Adelaide. Then 9.963. Glenelg 8.856. 18 and a half gone third term as Ruwalt sharks to Seller, hit out, kicks towards half back, bouncing ball. Corns there with Beard. Corns picks up the football. Lysett nearly ran through him, but he got a handball towards Grimer, who goes to Tenace. Now it's with Mule, still at left half back to Bays. Comes to Ruwalt, to Seller. Handballs back to Corns. Finally, Corns whacks it on the boot. The kick was good, but unable to complete the mark was Grimer. Lockham tackled, lost the football. No ways that holding the ball. Off the ground, Slattery in the middle of the park. Casey Cart couldn't take it. Doing well was Wanganeen. He gave to Cart, who in turn gave to McInerney. Still right in the middle of Albion Oval. He finds Dolling, who's away and running. He can have a bounce as he hits half forward. Think about another. No, he chips the ball inside 50. Coming through strongly was Watson, but taking a good grab in front position was Ben Mules for Glenelg. And he can steady things down. 19 and a half gone third term. It's Port 9.963. Glenelg 8.856. Mules has the footy deep in defence for the Bays.
Waiting now for Mules to bring the ball out of defence now. Goes on to the outer side of the ground. The race is on for it. It was Du Pasquale and Big Kirk. The ball, it's actually McInerney. I saw the 5 and McInerney doing battle there, but eventually Glenelg will come away with the ball. It's Chris Kane who went with the hand pass. Oh, there might be a free kick, and there will be two to go the way of Port Magpies. Panozzo was tackled and dropped the ball. May not be technically the incorrect disposal, I suppose, is really what they say these days. And he, in turn, the ball comes in short, and Luke Slattery will have this shot for goal. He's played a lot down defence today, but he did kick a very, very good goal a few minutes earlier in this quarter. So Luke Slattery lining up. He'll kick from about 50, but he does have the breeze pretty much behind him, and he's usually a pretty good kick. Gets under them a fair bit. This is an absolute shocker. And he's put it through for a minor score. It just didn't come off the boot right, did it?
That's about 4 you've called like that today, Doug. It's, just you're putting him off. You're going to have to say he's a really terrible kick.
Trust me, Andrew, he is a good kick. Let's check the scoreboard. It's Port Magpies 9-10, 64. And Glenelg 8 goals, 8. 8 goals, 8, which of course is 56. So 8 points the margin in favour of the Maggies. We've played 21 minutes of the quarter.
Just a quick score check there from Elizabeth. 22 minutes in, Dean Tillich hits his second goal. The legs 5.838. Central 6.743.
Something interesting going on here, John. There's been a free kick paid to Port Adelaide around about 60, 70 metres out from goal. Not sure what for.
Well, the Bays were preparing to bring the ball back into play. The umpire's seen something. As Andrew Crow was telling you, it's coming back here, I believe. Yes, finally we've got a decision. It's going to Young at about centre-half forward. So he pops the ball up. Carey marks for Port Adelaide. It's about 75 from goal. He'll go backwards to Locken, who's between left half forward and the outer side centre wing. Port Adelaide making the most of their advantage with that free, and Locken's kicks a shocker. He shanks in the direction of two traders who scurry out of the way like a pair of frightened mice. McInerney couldn't pick it up. He does now. Allen tackles him, held to him, and 60 seconds of rather confusing football comes to an end with the ball up, attacking side of centre for the Bays. It's going to be in the ruck Cranston winning it down to Allen. He gets a handball over the top to Ruwalt, bustled off the ball by Wanganeen. Cranston came through though, gave to Kellogg at half forward. He can put the bays inside 50, bouncing ball to Nace was good. Handballed it out to no one in particular, but coming through, taking it Meyer, kicking to the goal line, and in the end, fisted through for a behind to the bays. Score check. It's Port Adelaide 9-10-64, Glenelg 8-9-57, 22 and a half gone third term.
And Port Magpies have just got the ball down towards half forward in no time. They're almost having a shot for goal. I tell you what, the ball moves so quickly. Racing after it right now is the little Port Magpie player there in Watson, very close to the boundary line. He's quickly dispossessed of it. Glenelg out of defence this time, coming down towards the wing. Oh, good mark. Shannon over the top of Chad Corns. He's not a big lad, young Shannon. And I think Andrew Crowd, you touched on it beautifully earlier when you said Chad Corns just looks like a man just so down on confidence, and it was highlighted once again then. Wanganeen it was who had the ball, kicks the ball very high in the air, and there's a wonderful mark deep in defence here by the player for Glenelg. Just trying to pick him up down there, the boy who took that mark, but it was an absolute bit. It might have been young Bradley. It was Bradley. The ball comes out eventually to Panozzo. Panozzo deep in defence here for the Magpies. Shelters his eyes from the winter's sun. Looks for a few options. He's kicking into the breeze too. Kicks the ball short. That was a wise choice, and finds Chris Kane there, the bearded Kane. Kane goes in short once again and finds Bradley. This young lad has been fairly impressive. He's picked up a lot of touches. His kick goes down towards the wing. It comes off hands. Wanganeen was in there. He topples over a Glenelg player. The ball is on the ground. Play on again, calls the umpire. Hand pass comes out now to Ben Kane. Ben Kane will go in short and will find a teammate too in Danny Meyer. Danny Meyer will kick the ball long, kicking into the breeze. It's not a bad sort of a roost, though. Pack of players go high. Beard was up there for the Port Magpie team. Couldn't get it. He falls on top of the ball. If he was playing AFL, he'd be penalised. Umpire says play on, and a point has been kicked behind to Glenelg. So it all moved fairly quickly. It wasn't the prettiest bit of football, I will admit. But Glenelg have scored a behind from that one. They move along now to, what are they, 8 goals, 10. Just waiting for the scoreboard attendant. 8 goals, 10, 58. Trading Port Magpies 9-10, 64. Just a straight kick in it at this point. 25 minutes have gone in the third quarter.
Young has the ball at 10.5 back for Port Adelaide. As Doug Oakley told you, his team leads by a goal at three-quarter time. The Bays coming home with the breeze that no one's used all that well so far. Young goes to Shannon. Half-back is where he is. Half-back right. He kicks to half-forward right. This southern end where the mark is taken by Xavier Watson. He goes to 50, Cloak there, Kirk as well over. Both those players heads the bays. Chris Kane, should I say, mops up nicely. Handballs to Bradley, then gets it back in the 1-2 and finds Panozzo. Still deep in defence to bays, underneath the scoreboard. In fact, Panozzo handballs over the top to Rudolph. Set him up, he was tackled ferociously. And the umpire says, we'll ball it up. 45 metres out from Port Adelaide's goal. It's the Maggies 9-10-64. Glenelg 8-10-58. 25 and a half gone third term. Cranston up in the ruck, won it down. But the handball off to Panozzo, who gave to Ben Kane. He can go for a bit of a run, which he loves to do. Runs off half-back and handballs to Bode. He handballs to himself in the end. Gets the handball back looking for a teammate who's taken high. Probably lucky in the end there. And it will be Ben Kane who'll come up with the footy because Bode tried the handball. It was knocked down by a Port player, went straight back to Bode. He got it to Kane and he was tackled. But Glenelg will get out of it now as Kane goes short and has found Mills with the football. He chips back towards that outer side centre wing. He's got Tenace. He can go further afield down to Ben Kane. He's on the outer side, not going very far to the bays. And in fact, the three-quarter time siren beats them. The short game going nowhere for Glenelg. And at three-quarter time, I can tell you, we have a beauty set up for this last quarter. It is Port Adelaide by 6 points, 9-10-64. The Bays 8-10-58.
Polak is having a great game. He's chipped in with 3, and then singles to Craig Parry, Lee Treeby, Chris Knight, and Scotty Welsh for the Panthers. their multiple goal kicker is Jack Bader, who had a fantastic third quarter. He's got 2 singles to Little, Horn, Whitford, Warren, Coshell, McKernan and Richmond, and a couple of opportunistic goals for the Panthers in that third quarter. Big Coshell bombing one from about 65 metres out, and then young Taylor Whitford with a very freaky snap a la World Cup style to keep the Panthers in the hunt at three-quarter time here, boys. 12-point leaders, the Eagles, going into a very enthralling final quarter.
Is that final score, or that three-quarter time score again, Dom, before we let you go?
Yes, 11-7-73 the Eagles, South 9-7-61, and the 2 most accurate sides in the competition doing pretty well with this freeze at the moment.
Tom, thanks so much for that. We'll catch up for your post-game review and during our post-game review here on 107.9 Life FM.
Thanks, guys.
Don Cooper down there at Woodville with the Eagles by 12 points at three-quarter time over South. Norwood trailing Central by 11 at three-quarter time at Elizabeth. Here at Alberton, it's Port leading Glenelg by 6 points as we start the last quarter. D. Pasquale gets the first centre clearance towards half-forward. Cloak came through. Little handball was a bit hot for Wanganeen. Got support from Gray, though. Handball was into open space at 50. Can Clinch pick it up? He's pushing along in front of himself. Good to see him back on the ground too, Clinch. After taking a big knock in that second term. In the end, he couldn't quite get the ball, and the Bays come away with it. It was Panozzo to Mules, to Allen, back to Mules, and he kicks to the wing now where Bode drops what he perhaps should have taken. Ball tight on the boundary line. Allen comes in, lends support, gets a handball over the top towards Ben Kane, knocked away from him by Carey. Comes towards Young, half-back left, grandstand side for Port Adelaide. He gives to Meiklejohn. Meiklejohn's chipped down the wing, chopped off beautifully though for the Bays there by Kellogg. He handballs over the top to Kane, who can go inside 50, about 35 out from goal. Tenace was up, knocked away from him. Ball at the bottom of the pack, the handball came out. Only as far as Port Adelaide Slattery, who can run across the face of goals, take a bounce, deep in defence. He kicks out towards defence 50. Watson is there. He tried his best to keep it in, but in the end, the ball out of bounds underneath the scoreboard. 50 out from the Bays goal. Port 9-10-64. Glenelg 8-10-58. We've got 90 seconds in this final term.
The other Magpies doing well. Collingwood 13-9-87. St Kilda 6-16-52. 35 points the margin. 23 minutes gone in the final quarter of the game there at the MCG. In our game, 6 points the margin, as John has mentioned. And we've just got this final quarter underway. Port Magpies leading Glenelg 9-10 to 8-10. And it is a real arm wrestle. Been a terrific game of footy. Not so much pretty, but just the fact that neither side has been able to really break clear. We thought Glenelg had the game won almost at quarter time after they'd really nullified Port kicking with the breeze in the first quarter, but it hasn't worked out that way. Now Glenelg having a shot for goal. I think they've kicked it too. And we'll get the boy. It looks like Byron Murphy has kicked that one. It is. And Murphy has kicked a goal to level the scores here down at the Alberton Oval. So that is Murphy's first goal for the afternoon. 9-10, 64 apiece. 2.5 minutes have gone in the final quarter on Life FM. Our game for major sponsors, Home Loans Plus. Comments from Andrew Crowell.
Yeah, real opportunist goal, that one. There was a nice little stoppage. The ball came in, flicked out to him, and he was just quick enough to get it on the boot, snap it around the body, and a beautiful goal with the breeze behind him.
All even at Alberton and Oval, as Doug Oakley told you. 3 minutes gone, final term back in the middle. Meiklejohn and Cranston. Cranston won it down, but it's going to be Young coming away for Port. Kicking towards 50. Cloak diving, trap the football. The Bays players slide in on him. Umpire watching proceedings very carefully. He'll ball it up 60 metres out from Port Adelaide's goal. 9-10-64 apiece, as I see Allen in there pulling up Big Kirk, patting him on the back, geeing up his team, trying to get the Bays moving. They've started the final quarter well, but a lot of work still to be done. Centre half back is where the ball is for Glenelg. And a breakaway on that occasion was the goal scorer. Murphy couldn't do so. Ball spills out to Willoughby. Handball was good to Mules. Mules now kicks long towards the forward 50 arc, about 35 from goal. Fisted away from Chad Corns. Bode roving in there with the blue boots, tackled by Beard. And the umpire says we'll ball it up underneath the scoreboard, which shows even Stevens. Port 9-10-64, Glenelg 9-10-64. 4 minutes gone, fourth term. No clear winner in the ruck. Carey grabbed it for Port Adelaide. The umpire's, not the umpire actually closer to the play, but the umpire watching things from behind has seen a free kick off the ball. It's going to come the way of Beard. He's about 25 metres from his defensive goal. Now he's going to get a 25-metre penalty. Well, it's a bit more than it's about a 25 in the end. He comes to centre-half back. He chips short to McInerney. It's not a good kick, but McInerney was good. Picked up on the one movement and handball to Meikle-John, who can go inside 50 and Lysette takes the mark. 45 metres out, 45-degree angle for Port. He kicks long now from 50, going to lob at the top of the square. Someone in there, Rudolph good. Punches towards the back pocket. Glenelg have the numbers. Willoughby will take the mark, and he can steady things down for the Bays at defence of 50. No, chips up to Tenace, and he's away and running for Glenelg.
Tenace now been a great player for Glenelg today. Kicks down towards the half-forward line. Slattery came in to meet the ball, did the right thing, but overran it. Glenelg have got control. Matty Bowe ducked his head, was written into the ground. Umpire said, Plato, that was a good umpiring decision. Snapshot for goal here by Danny Meyer, though, is going to miss everything, and it's out of bounds. Not too far around from the behind post. It's Glenelg deep in attack. Scores locked together, 64 apiece. 5 minutes have gone in the final quarter. The action down here at Alberton. The sun is bathed in sunshine, and wherever you might be listening to us on the radio around Adelaide, wherever you are, just hearing a Glenelg goal kicked. One of those goals, I think it was Grimer. Big Todd Grimer has kicked that one, and it's his third goal for the afternoon. Glenelg now hit the front by just that one straight kick. The Bays 10-10-70. Port Magpies 9-10-64. 5.5 minutes gone in the final quarter. Oh, I tell you what, she's tough and willing out there, Andrew Crowell.
Certainly is. And talking about opportunist goal, what about that one? He just ripped out of the ruck. He had about 30 centimetres to get it between two players, and he managed to do that and put it through the big sticks as well. What a goal. That was a beauty. Crucial goal at a crucial stage of the game.
Bays by 6 points as Cranston wins it in the ruck. He won it straight down to his opposite ruckman in Meikle-John, who was tackled, and there'll be a ball up attacking side of centre for the Bays. 10-10-70 to Glenelg. Port Adelaide 9-10-64. 6 minutes gone. Final term. Still anyone's ball game as Di Pasquale comes off half-back for Port Adelaide. But a good mark at centre half-back taken there by Kirk for the Bays. He handballs to Panozzo. He's well tackled though. Got a handball out. No, Ping's holding the ball. Clinch the tackler. Will take the free. Right half forward for Port. He chips and finds Di Pasquale, who can handball on towards Gray. He chips to centre half forward. Dolling there. Scored the first goal of the game. Seems so long ago. He takes the mark and kicks to 50, and Young takes the mark there for Port Adelaide. Port fans, a sense of urgency as Gray chips in and marks the Young kick. 40 out, straight in front. He'll take his time, Samuel Gray. No great hurry for him. Well, he kicks now towards the goal. He's going to lob in the goal square. Getting up and taking a good mark was Rudolph. Deep in defence, about 2 metres from the goal line. He took that mark. He chips up to Tenace, who marks defence. 50 handballs over top to Willoughby. He's away and running. An earnest look on his face as he hits half-back after a couple of bounces and kicks towards half-forward. Off the hands of Kirkby. Grimer there. Kicked his third goal moments ago to put the Bays in front. Couldn't do much on this occasion. Di Pasquale came up with it. Gave to Carey. He gave to Watson. Tackled by Kirkby. Ball, the fans scream. Ball's a call. And the Bays will take it at half forward through Kirkby. It's fierce and it's ferocious. It's tough and it's hard here at Alberton as Kirkby kicks long inside. 50 going to lob about 30 metres out from goal. It's fisted down. Dolling couldn't pick up. Port player did get a handball out in the end. The umpire's whistle has blown. And the free kick will come back to the Magpies. And it will be taken by... I have absolutely no idea, to be honest with you, because the umpire...
He's awarded a 25-metre penalty.
That's what he's done.
Well.
He's awarded a 25-metre penalty, and it's going to come back here to Casey Carr at defensive 50. Not too clear where the umpire was really gesturing then. He kicks up into that right back pocket. Shannon takes the mark, and he's away for the Magpies.
Yeah, kicking there to his another boy from the West Coast. The two boys there, Carr and Shannon. There's a lot of them out there today. There's the kick going further down the ground, but it's all Glenelg. Mark taken there on the centre wing. Just trying to pick up that player as the ball comes in towards the centre. That was a poor kick, that one. And Di Pasquale it was who chipped in and took the mark. Went with the hand pass across there to Luke Slattery. Slattery's got a lot of leg speed. Runs through the centre of the ground. Drops the ball in short. Finds Wanganeen. Wanganeen now will kick the ball short once again because they're going into the breeze. That's why they're going short. It comes off the hands of the player there in Mills, taken by little Timmy Malera. Went with a short one, trapped there by big Cameron Cloak. Couldn't get his kick away. It's knocked out there by the Glenelg defenders, and they eventually kicked the ball out, and the mark has been taken here by, was that Willoughby, kicking the, or Tanace at least, who's been wonderful today. Big James Seller took the mark across half forward, and Seller now from 55 metres. A long, long shot has gone out of bounds on the full, and a free kick to be taken down there by Matthew Locken. He'll be pretty happy because his old team, Collingwood, look as though they're going to give St Kilda a fair old, well, I won't say a hiding, but 40 points or so is a fair bit. It's going to be at least that, it would seem.
Josh Willoughby was screaming for the ball there. He was about 25 metres out straight in front. Seller just didn't see him.
As the action right now is going to be picked up here by the Port Magpie player. It was the youngster there running through in Shannon it was, of course. It comes back to Shannon there. Goes with another hand pass over to Lyson, another one of the youngsters. Young Lyson, who's got pretty good skills for a big bloke. There's his kick. And he went for the open goal, but the breeze held the ball up, and the Glenelg defenders will bring it out once again. And Matty Bode it is who takes the mark now. Cross half back. Feeds off the hand pass there to Ruwald. Ruwald drops the ball in short, and big James Seller. I tell you what, he's played a pretty good game. He's a beautiful kick of the ball for a big bloke. That was sensational. Only went 30-odd metres, but just the way he did it. And he finds his teammate there in Murphy.
Murphy kicks up inside 50 for the Bays. Locken thumps away, though, for the Maggies towards half-back. Willoughby taking on his opponent. De Pasquale did well. Trapped the ball, kicks back to centre-half forward where Grimer takes the mark for the Bays. 10.5 minutes gone, fourth term. It's Glenelg 10-10-70, Port 9-10-64. Grimer goes to inside 50, 25 out from goal. Off hands, shot by Keller. He grubbers it through and kicks a wonderful goal for the Bays. Glenelg go to 11-10, that's 76. Port Adelaide 9-10-64, 11 gone final term. You're on 107.9 Life FM, Adelaide's home of football.
Effective, and a whole lot of Port Adelaide players come in. The umpire will call for a ball up. It's about 50 metres out from the Glenelg goal. There it is. Up they go. It was Seller who got the tap out there. Lands in the face, actually, of Young of Port Magpies. A hand pass from Tanace, which was quite effective. Got it across there. Might have been Willoughby. Kicked the ball high in the air. Up they go. It is a Glenelg mark, and Todd Grimer. And just in the latter stages of this game, we're finding that the aerial strength, the experience, and everything else that makes Glenelg a good team is just starting to come to the fore. They lead by 2 goals straight. Grimer has a chance to put them further ahead. He's kicking from about 30 metres out, almost directly in front, and he has kicked that one right over the nostrils of the goal umpire. It's his 4th goal for the afternoon for Todd Grimer. You've got to say it's a fair day's work. Glenelg now lead by 3 goals straight. 12 goals, 10-82. Leading Port Adelaide, 9-10-64. We've played 12.5 minutes in the final quarter. Port Magpies haven't scored at this stage in the final quarter. Andrew Crowell.
No, which is unusual for Port Adelaide. We usually see them beating sides home in the last quarter, but that was a great grab by Todd Grimer. Just got up nice and high over the pack, took a nice strong hand, clean hands there, and went back and kicked the easiest of goals.
13 gone final term. The Bays out to an 18-point lead. Seller in the ruck, won it down to Tanace. And he goes inside 50 for the Bays, over the head of the pack. Carey there for Port Adelaide. In the left back pocket, he kicks it, picks it up and kicks for touch and finds it out of bounds. Left back pocket, 15 metres round from the behind post. And here, 18 points the margin. And it looks as though it's going to be one of those honourable losses again for Port Adelaide. as we tick towards the mid part of this final term. Well, they're not out of it yet, but the sides are just looking ominous as Kane tried to come through, bustled off the football. Port Adelaide come up with it through Di Pasquale, kicks towards half-back. Stella there, one grab, two grab, couldn't pull it in for the Bays. And in the end, Chris Kane sees the ball over the line for a boundary throw-in.
Been impressed with James Sellers' game today. He's just hasn't been outstanding, but he's just done the workmanlike ruckman's game. It's been a good performance.
There's the throw in there. It's almost taken, it is taken away, in fact, by the Port Adelaide player there who came through. It was young Sam Gray. Sam Gray then applies a tackle on his Glenelg opponent, and there will be a ball up. It's midway between wing and half forward. Port Adelaide into attack. As I said, they haven't scored in this final quarter. Glenelg leading now by 18 points. The Bays have kicked 4 goals in what's been an impressive performance in the final stands here. They are kicking with the breeze and they're using it well. McInerney now with a chance for Port Magpies. Races through half forward. There's his kick. It wasn't a bad sort of a kick, although it was a difficult one to mark. Having said that, the ball is on the ground deep in the attacking zone for the Magpies. Can they score from this? I don't think they will, because Glenelg seem to have control of it. Now Port Magpies still have a... Let's see, is there a free kick? Yes, there is. And the boy getting up off the bottom of that pack with the free kick. Is it going to be Wanganeen? Looks like it might be young Derek Wanganeen to go back. I'll just see if it is him. No, it's not Wanganeen. Sorry, I was watching him, had the glasses on him. It's a free kick to...
It's like Dolling, isn't it?
It looks like Dolling. I think it is Dolling, actually. Yes, it is. Number 13, Dolling. In he comes. There's the shot for goal. He's put it through. Much-needed goal for the Magpies. There's still a chance, only 15 minutes gone in the final quarter, and Port Magpies move along now to 10 goals, 10-70. 12 points the margin. Glenelg, 12 goals, 10-82. So the Bays by 12 points here at the 15-minute mark of the final quarter.
Just a couple of scores from around the grounds. The Dogs 7-8-50 lead, the Legs 5-8-38. While Sturt have taken the lead with a couple of goals early in the last quarter there. 8-14-62, North 8-5-53.
Umpire now to put play underway once again. Up they go. Young Lysett, it might have been, who got the tap out there for Port Magpies. Young was in there for the Magpies too, trying to burst his way clear. Couldn't do so. Umpy comes in and said it is going to be mine. There will be a ball up. So the action back now almost in the centre of the ground. So close to it, it doesn't matter. John Nankivell's got the glasses all poised, or all focused on the action. John, it's all yours.
Well, it's a tight ball game. 2 goals in favour of the Bays. And we have gone 16 minutes in this final term. As Glenelg go forward, Allen going to pick the footy up at half forward. Succeeds in doing that now. Handball's off to Bode, who goes inside 50 with the kick. Caught behind Grimer. Got a chance to take the mark. Dropped at 25 out. Then pushed off his opponent. Kick towards goal. And kicks his 5th goal for the game, Todd Grimer. And puts the margin back out to 3 in favour of the Glenelg side. Glenelg go to 13-10, that is 88. Port Adelaide 10-10-70, 17 gone final term. Just a quick score update from one of the other venues. It's the Eagles 13-11, South 9-7, and Sturt continuing to kick away at Unley. They're out to 10-14 to North 8-5. Andrew Crow, then Doug Oakley.
Yeah, gee, that was good work by Todd Grimer. Just strong. Just the ball hit the ground from... He didn't take the grab, but he managed to push off his opponent, turn around and get the ball through the middle. Really good work for Grimer. Great game, 5 goals.
Dogs by 18 at Unley. 19 minutes gone, final term.
No one able to get a real decisive tap out there. It was the youngster Lysett doing battle against Cranston. And the umpire will call the ball once again. Call for the ball again. There's the bounce up. Up they go. Oh, up over the top there was Clinch. Only a small player, but he got the tap out too. We'll see that one in the Sunday Mail tomorrow in the stats column, no doubt. One hit out, Clinch. The ball eventually finds its way towards the wing on the outer side of the ground. A pretty good crowd over there too, watching the game and probably shielding their faces from the sun so that they can see the action. The umpire comes in and calls it once again. Not a real decisive passage of play, hence the absence of names being mentioned. There's the ball up. It's Todd Allen, Ty Allen at least, who comes away from the pack. Up go the Port Magpie defenders, and they're all wrapped up there as Danny Meyer applied the tackle. The ball's about 35 metres out from the Glenelg goal. They lead at the moment by some 18 points. Todd Grimer with 5 goals, and he's kicked a few in this final quarter too. 3 goals in this final quarter. There we go. McInerney was in there doing battle, and a couple of other Port Magpie players. There was a hand pass that came out there from Watson. Another hand pass came out back to Watson, in fact. He in turn goes for another hand pass there, got it across to Dolling. Dolling back to Watson. He's had about 3 or 4 touches in a few seconds, and he drives it down towards the wing. Will be trapped by Cranston. He in turn feeds the hand pass across there to Chad Corns, who kicks the ball high in the air. Goes up now for a big pack of players to rise. No one able to take it. Slattery was in there for the Magpies, but tapped across here now to Meyer. Meyer with the left foot snapshot has put it through for another goal here to the Bays, and that is the second goal for Danny Meyer this afternoon. 4 goals the margin now in favour of Glenelg. 14 goals, 10. 14-10, which should be, let me see, 82, 92. 92. 94. Well, gee, the maths aren't what they used to be, I tell you. And Port Adelaide 10-10-70. I think I made a prediction earlier.
You did.
Glenelg might win by 5 goals. Now, I did say it off air because I didn't want to be embarrassed.
No, you didn't. No one heard anything, Dave. Just a final score. Hawthorn-Brisbane. Hawthorn 17-16, 118. Defeated Brisbane 7 goals, 143. So probably the only thing good to come out of that, Brisbane kick straight.
They did indeed. Another goal to Sturd Unley there, out to a 27-point lead. They've been trailing, albeit tightly, for the first 3 quarters, but they've really come out in the last term and 4 or 5 goals. And as I said, they now lead by 27 points late in the last term at Unley. They will win that game and all but end North's 2010 season. Here at the Bay, Glenelg will get over Port Adelaide and move into second spot, as it looks like the Doggies will probably topple Nord at Elizabeth as Chris Kane off half back for the Bays. His kick's a good one. It's marked on the wing by Ruwalt, who runs to half forward and can kick long inside 50. Coming through with the big punch lock and the big strong arm, fisting the ball to the boundary. Out of play, right forward pocket for the Bays with 29 seconds into time on in this final term. It's Glenelg 14-10-94, Port 10-10-70. As the umpire will bring the footy back into play. One down there by Cloak in the ruck. Knocked back out towards clinch for Port Adelaide. Handballs to Cloak, well tackled, should be holding the ball. Not paid. Bode come up with it, gave to Murphy, gave to Mike, and he kick another goal. He snaps at the sticks. It's going to lob on the behind line, off the hands of Slattery, through for a rush behind. 25 points to margin. The Bays 14-11-95. Port 10-10-70, 21 gone final term.
Port Magpies now bringing the ball out of defence. Mark taken on the outer side of the ground. Is that Watson? Yes, it is. He takes the mark, plays on with the hand pass to Wanganeen, but it fell at his feet. It was a bit of a tough one, and he was under a lot of pressure. The ball's knocked across the line and out of bounds for a throw-in. It's on the half-forward line for Glenelg. They're going with the breeze, and I tell you what, they're using it well in this final quarter. 14-11 the Bays, 95, leading Port Magpies 10-10-70. Action on the outer side of the ground. Once again, it's all wrapped up, and the umpy comes in and says, it will be mine. We'll have another restart to play. So Cranston and Micklejohn doing battle. Both recruited from interstate. There's a few interstate players here today. Ty Allen, who comes from down in the southeast. He kicks the ball deep into the attacking zone. Clever knock on there by Chad Corns, who hasn't really shown the form that he would have liked to have shown today, I don't think. But anyway, it's going to be Allen having a long shot for goal, and I think it is touched on the line. I'm going to say it was going to be a goal, but it's knocked across the line, just touched at the last minute there by the Port Magpies. And so Glenelg move along now to 14 goals, 12, 96. Port Magpies at 10-10-70. The sun shining on the scoreboard gets a little bit difficult to read as Wanganeen has the ball now. It's a great name, Wanganeen. Lovely to, wonderful to call it. Clinch comes out of defence now for Port Magpies. Looks for Cloak. Knocked away from him by Wade. Will be taken by Watson. Down in front of our broadcast point. The action now. There was Shannon. Went in, but the Glenelg players were even harder at the ball. They've forced the ball up almost on the true centre wing position. Perhaps a little more to the attacking side for Glenelg. And the umpy comes in and will ball it up once again. John Nankerville, this is your passage.
Bounce down on this grandstand side wing. One down by Meiklejohn. Coming through nicely, though, picking it up was Bradley. Handball along the boundary for the Bays. It was snapped by Shannon, whose handball wasn't great. It went straight to Seller, who gave to Chris Kane, to Rudolph, who can run through the middle of Albert and Oval. Handball over the top to Willoughby. He's at centre half 40. Steadies, kicks inside 50, and Meyer takes the mark about 48 out straight in front. The Bays leading 26 points. 23 gone, final term, and Danny Meyer can go back and line up for what, if he is accurate, will be his third goal this afternoon. I can tell you in the other games, Sturt really running away with it now at Unley, 12-14 to North 8-6. They picked about 6 unanswered goals in this final term at Unley, as Meyer here at Alberton's kick is just away to the left, through 4-1 behind. The 27 points the lead to the Bays. They go to 14 goals, 13-97. Port 10-10-70. 24 minutes gone, final term. Slattery to bring it back in for the Maggies. Meyer flies high at 50, couldn't take the mark. Kane got the crumbs for the Bays. That was Ben. He gave to Murphy, and his kick is marked by Grimer. 25 out straight in front, and he can go back from 25 out straight in front. Perhaps a slight angle in the end, but he can line up for goal number 6, and it will be goal number 15 for the Bays as Murphy gingerly jogs to the bench, gets a big roar of approval from the Snouts. Mules back into the action. Grimer kicks at goal number 6 and misses. What would have been his 6th for the game, his 4th for the quarter. 28 points to lead to the Bays. They go to 14-14, 98. Port 10-10-70.
As the kick out from Matthew Locken now across the half back line for the Port Magpies, but it's taken away here by the player there in Glenelg. And there's a big yell from the Glenelg people, and it's a mark. And going back now to line up for that 6th goal once again. Is this Grimer once again? We're getting to, it's becoming common practice. Lining up for goal number 6. This is Todd Grimer.
Yep.
Pretty handy sort of a return, coming in now to kick Glenelg's 15th. Certainly there should not be any problems at all. 25 metres out directly in front, and he's put it through for a minus goal. So that's the way it goes sometimes. 5 goals, 3's his return for the afternoon. It's pretty handy just the same. We find Glenelg move along to 14 goals, 15, 99. Leading Port Magpies 10-10-70, and still the Magpies haven't scored in the final quarter of this game. 25.5 minutes have gone in the final quarter. There's the kick out. The target was Big Micklejohn. He couldn't take the mark. Ruvold had it, but he was knocked across the line, and there'll be a throw in right near the bowling green. For those who know this oval, in fact, it's a free kick. He was manhandled and not tackled correctly according to the umpire, and so there is a free kick to Mark Ruvold. Looks further afield, comes off the hands of the pack and out of bounds once again. Only about 20 metres around from the behind post. Glenelg deep in attack. They lead at the moment by 29 points. After a pretty thrilling and entertaining first 3 quarters, they really have dominated this final quarter.
Sturt are home at Unley, 12-14 to 8-6 over North as the ball comes off the back of the pack. Comes to Young. He kicks out towards half-back. Bradley came through strongly though for the Bays. Knocked it to Bode, knocked it to Mules, who tapped it double-handed down to Seller, who was tackled. And Mules comes away with the ball. All the players waiting for the umpire's whistle. Mules came away, went short to Grimer. Surely this will be goal number 6. He can't miss on the top of the goal square, and he doesn't. And Glenelg, well, they're out to a 35-point margin now. Glenelg 15-15, 105. Port 10-10-70, 27 gone, final term. Grimer finally gets his 6th goal, Andrew Crowell.
He certainly does, and he's making his way to the bench a little bit gingerly as well. He's gets a round of applause, gives the little crowd a bit of a wave there, and he's finished off the game beautifully. And you called it perfectly there, John. It looked like every player on the ground sort of stopped and expected the umpire to play the whistle, but Mules it was that took the ball. A bit of a magic act, almost appeared with the ball out of the pack, and ended up in the hands of Todd Grimer.
It had to be the worst kick of the day by Ben Mules too, but it landed, as you say, in the hands of Grimer. Yeah. As Port Magpies now have got the ball near the centre of the ground. In towards half forward they go. Almost a one-handed mark there by the Glenelg defender who appealed for the kick. There's a hand pass that came out from McInerney. A little bit astray with that one, though. He was looking for Dolling. It didn't quite land there. Ty Allen came out with another hand pass, and we find gets it across to Willoughby. Gee, I've been impressed with Willoughby's game today as he kicks it in towards the centre of the ground, and Matthew Bode it was who took the mark. Feeds off the hand pass here now to Chris Kane. Chris Kane will kick from about 50, 60 metres. Lands it right up close to the goal square. The ball's on the ground. Kirkby was down there. He was tackled, and the umpire, I think, will come in and ball it up. So it's about 25 metres out from the Glenelg goal. They lead at the moment by some 35 points. The game down here at Alberton as the sun casts some pretty big shadows across the ground, but played in pretty good conditions despite the fact the breeze has made it difficult. as the triumphant Glenelg supporters let go in unison as their team triumphs down here at Alberton. 15-15, 105, defeating Port Magpies, who kicked 10 goals, 10-70. So just the one solitary goal to the Magpies in that last quarter. 35 points the margin, and Glenelg have taken the honours here, probably ending up.